Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey everybody, how are y'all doing? It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley. Happy Monday, happy President's Day. And I hope y'all had a very happy Valentine's Day. It feels good to be back. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Y'all, when I tell you guys, I'm so happy to be here with y'all because I thought I was going to be here tomorrow, but we are here today. So God is good, all right? But come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm happy to see y'all. I hope y'all are doing really well. Come on in. Yes, you guys are on time. Rare for Monday. Now, a quick disclaimer, right? Because I have a lot of thoughts in regards to Wendy and Eddie and this whole fraud case and that clip in the beginning. I'm gonna let you know right now. If you happen to be a newfound Wendy stan, you might want to click off. All right. So I'm letting you know right now. Don't say I didn't warn you. I have a lot of thoughts about that 2-minute conversation that we saw with Wendy and Eddie a week after their arrest. So I'm gonna I'm speaking my piece. Babe, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry. Listen, I am holding nothing back today. I am ready, I am rested, and I am relaxed. And I am getting it all off my chest. I'm leaving nothing on the table. So if you're here for it, great. And if you don't want to hear it, go somewhere else. I'm not even upset. All right. But come on in the room. It's going to be a great recap. I could feel it in my soul. On top of that, I do want to let y'all know another thing. I enjoyed this first part. This first part, to me, they did that. Chef's kiss, no notes. Generally speaking, the first part is usually it's a lot of filler, it's a lot of fluff. But Andy knew. He knew that the complaints regarding the SLC reunion, he knew that he did not want to get ate up for Potomac. So he didn't give us a whole bunch of fluff and filler. We got right into everything, and I'm grateful. Honestly and truthfully, I wouldn't be mad if this were 4 parts, but I'm happy for 3 parts. This first part, I was impressed. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I would give this a 9.5. This was perfection in my opinion. Now, one more quick thing. I wish that they would have left the original order of episodes where it was supposed to be 18 episodes and the conversation between Wendy and Eddie was going to be the finale episode. I don't like how they shortened their conversation for this 2 minutes in the beginning of this part 1 reunion. We could have gotten that for the actual finale. But because you guys wanted to change things up and give us end the finale in Colorado, I don't know why, we have to now get the Wendy and Eddie conversation at the reunion, but all right. But anyways, y'all, besides that, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed this first part. What do y'all think? I can't wait to hear. Okay, you give it a 9. Yes. Okay, yes. We see each other, honey. They did that. The first part was chef's kiss. Okay. All right. But guys, come on in. Come on in. Yeah. Oh, come on, Lychee Martini. Are you me? Are we twins? Do we see each other? Because I am on a Lychee Martini kick. Okay. Yes. Okay. Come on, friend. Oh, you're my new friend today, honey. You are the star of the show. Come on, Lychee Martini. Yes. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on in the room. Yes. Okay. So we're giving 8, 9. All right. So oh, you said 7. Oh, okay. 7. All right, y'all. Come on in, y'all. I think we are here. We're okay. We're all accounted for. We're about almost 5 minutes in. 330 of y'all, 337 of y'all in the chat. Come on, that's enough time for us to get started. Okay. All right. Come on, Tequila. Yes, I'm so excited. Y'all, we're going to be here for a while. So please get comfortable. Kick your feet up. Pour up a drink. Get your snacks. Make dinner. Tuck the kids into bed and just relax yourself. We are here for a good time. I'm not even going to hold you and act like it's going to be a short recap because it's not. I have so many thoughts on everything and everybody, and I'm leaving it all on the table. All right. So, okay. Oh, you gave it a 5. You got bored. You give part 1 a 10. Okay. Yes, it was it was fabulous. All right, y'all. Now, don't even judge. I had a margarita before I got on. I was out. So if I'm a bit lit, that's why. So I see y'all. We see each other with the lychee martinis and the margaritas. We see each other. Oh, okay. So y'all, let's just open it up right here. We start off this part one in a very dramatic fashion, right? We see the whole rundown of when Wendy first joined the show in season 5 during the pandemic. She joined season 5 in 2020, right? The horrible season where it's been Potomac's downfall, that infamous season where Monique did what she did to Candace. So we won't even talk about that. So we see the whole timeline of Wendy's time on the show. We see her second season, season 6, when she got her body done. We see when she went to the White House. We see her 40th birthday. That was all last season, season 9. And now we cut to October 9th, 2025, the day the world stopped and Wendy and Eddie Osefo got arrested for fraud. So we see the headlines on E! News, all the blog reports, like a mess. So we see the cameras went up a week after they got out of jail, October 16th, a week from that day that they were in jail, right? It's 1 week after that arrest. We cut to Wendy and Eddie in their new renovated home, and it is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. So Eddie says, "Hey, baby, where are you?" Wendy's quiet. So she's like, "I'm here, baby. I'm here." It's no shade. But Wendy, and Wendy's people, if you're going to get upset, Jameer's right here to kick you out the chat. Because, listen, like I said, I'm not holding back. Wendy, I don't know what this breathy baby voice was, but I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe off camera, but on camera, I just said, girl, what is going on? This whole, "I'm here, baby. I'm here." It was giving a hotline. It wasn't like, I just said, can we be so serious? Can we be so effing for real right now? Like, girl, what is this? I said, a mess. I said, what is she doing? Like, what was this voice, girl? Like that. I said, you should have been doing that voice instead of, doing what you were doing with the insurance companies. Because you could have made some money talking like that to somebody on the phone, like, "I'm here, baby. I'm here." You could have given something, girl. You could have gotten some actual money legally, girl, doing that versus doing this. But I digress. It was getting very much, yes. It was getting very, yes. She was getting very much that, honey. So they sit down on the couch and Wendy says she feels like she's in a constant nightmare. "Our house doesn't even feel the same anymore." I said, well, I'm sure it doesn't feel the same. You said that there was a robbery that never occurred, and now you've been taken off to jail. I'm sure things don't feel normal in that house. I'm sure the whole vibe feels off, but I digress. So she says, "I want to eat. I have to eat, but I'm not hungry. I have no desire, no nothing. I don't know." So Eddie says, "So much has happened. It's been a week. Everything feels so." Then he trails off and says, "That day, it didn't feel real." So Wendy says, "It doesn't feel real." Eddie says, "It felt like a prank." Wendy says, "Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that it would lead to us being taken away in handcuffs." I need to stop right here. Listen, I'm here to talk to y'all and get some answers. I had to rewind this clip several times. I thought that the word choice was interesting. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that it would lead to us being taken away in handcuffs. Was it just me, or did it feel like that was low-key an admission of guilt? Because to say that it would lead us to, like, it almost felt like she was telling on both of them that they did do something crazy. No, did I? Yes. Okay. It sounded guilty to you too. Okay. So yes, talking, wait. Okay. So we see each other. Okay. Yes. I said, what is it? Exactly. It Freudian slip. That sounded so guilty. It keeping up with the Joneses. Okay. So we sent, okay, we are all on the same page today. God is good, because I thought I was gonna have to fight and tussle down in the comments, but baby, we are all one band, one sound, and thank you, Jesus. So anyhow, I thought that was very strange. Now, Wendy, here's my thing. How can you say never in my wildest dreams did I think that this would happen when you do crimes allegedly? There should always be a feeling of we can easily get caught, especially in these days and times. And I mean, I said on Twitter when you said that, I said, girl, never in our wildest dreams do we ever think that this would happen to you guys. Because despite how you feel about Wendy, I never, ever foresaw either one of them participating in fraud. Like, you could not have told me that they would be caught up in this. Okay. So I just said, babe, you're surprised. We're surprised too. We're all shocked because there are 5 other housewives that I could see this happening to. And you and Eddie never crossed my mind ever. So again, the fact that you're shocked, well, we're surprised as well. We might be more surprised than you are. But let me, I said, yes, Mia, of course. I was not surprised about Mia getting arrested 3 months ago either. But Wendy, I never in a million years would have ever thought that this day would happen to her and Eddie. Never. Okay. So now she goes on to say, it's so crazy. It feels like a bad dream. So now she starts crying. Again, I felt that Wendy was laying it on thick with this baby voice. I said, Harpo, who this woman? We've never heard Wendy speak like this ever. So now Eddie says, I remember in the holding cell, I saw you talking to your sister on the phone. So now Eddie starts crying and he says he heard their daughter Cameron in the background. So Wendy's like, baby, because she starts crying as well. So Wendy says, Cameron is so innocent. She had no idea what's going on. She was so happy hearing my voice. She was like, mommy. And I said, hey, baby, you're going to spend the night with auntie. And she said, okay, mommy, I'll see you tomorrow. And I didn't know if I was going to see her tomorrow. I was so scared. So now they're both sobbing. So I'm not going to hold y'all. When it comes to their children, I will always have a soft spot for them. Her kids are adorable. My heart really did break hearing her talk about Cameron's innocence and thinking that she's having a little innocent sleepover at her grandma and sister's house, not knowing that her mom and dad are in jail, caught up on fraud charges. Respectfully, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm not going to hold back my opinion, but while my heart breaks and weeps for their children because they don't deserve this, Wendy, where was this critical thinking when y'all did this? Like, I'm sorry, spare me the tears about your children's feelings when y'all chose to do this. Like, there was no thought involved about your kids when y'all pulled this stunt. So it's just kind of like, yes, my heart breaks for the children, but on the other hand, I'm annoyed. Like, this did not have to happen. And you didn't think about your kids. You didn't think about that, think about them at all when y'all decided to do this. Y'all get what I'm saying? Just a mess. I was so aggravated because yes, there are 4 degrees and no critical thinking. That part made me sad. It did make me sad because it's like, why would you guys are putting your kids in jeopardy, their futures and livelihoods because of this stunt. Like this did not need to happen. Y'all are on a hit TV show, doing well, seeing good money. There are opportunities, speaking engagements, working as a professor. There were so many streams of income. Happy Eddie was taking off, doing well. There was no need to do this. And for y'all to sit up here now and try to get sympathy, it's just, I just can't. I can't. It's just very sad. You said, while I did feel sad, I felt more rage because why would they do this? No, I agree. I feel the same way. Foolish, just foolish. It is foolish. It is. Yep, the same Karen who said her kids told her she had a problem 20 years ago and she didn't listen. The ego and fame has gone to their heads. It has gone to their heads, for sure. For sure. Hey, Mimi Jefferson, thank you for the super chat. Perfect timing. Let me pay my dues, child, because You're about to help me pack for my trip while I watch. Oh, thank you, Mimi. Thank you. And have a good trip. Safe travels. Hey, Dark Child 99. Thank you for the super chat. I discovered your YouTube channel that same day, Brooke. Thank you. I remember watching your reaction at work. You're one of the first YouTubers to react to the news, and I've been a happy fan of yours ever since. Thank you so much. Listen, I feel like you've been here for a long time, longer than that. You have been just fabulous. So thank you for subscribing, and I'm happy that you were here. Hey, Dark Child 99, thank you for the super chat. Wendy's voice to Eddie during that scene was as phony as Heavenly's anytime she speaks to Damon. Wendy's legal team probably advised her to speak like that. Well, do I have any lawyers in the chat? Somebody, would a legal team advise their client to speak in that baby voice? Let me know. Hey, sweet honey X, thank you for the super chat. Wendy bringing up her marriage repeatedly during that combo was odd. Yes. Oh, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. We're gonna get there in a minute. I promise you. I wonder if she was trying to separate herself from Eddie some. He seemed regretful. Oh, yes, it definitely gave that. It definitely gave that for sure. It gave a soft launch to divorce. It definitely gave that. Hey, Shay, thank you for the super chat. That was filmed a week after she was released, so I'm gonna give a little grace with the voice, especially when she's thinking about her kids. She sounded tired. Hey, Bio Miss Flores, thank you for the super chat. Thieves using their kids as shields for sympathy when just enraged me. You didn't do this for them, but yourselves. This scene just pissed me off. No, I understand. Bio Miss, we see each other. We see each other because there was no reason for this. My lawyer would advise that I stop filming immediately. Okay. A legal team would say not anything, would say don't say anything at all. Okay, you said she was low-key blaming Eddie in that house. Oh, she was. Okay, so wait a second. Y'all pulled, so y'all caught that too. Y'all caught that too. Okay. You said no, she should not speak at all and get off the show. She's playing and they are watching her every move, shaking my head. Wendy was assaulted and didn't have that ASMR voice. Listen, we didn't hear that baby voice with her and Mia. A lawyer would not advise you to infantilize yourself, but you want to come off less flamboyant as you normally would on the show. Thank you. Hey, Steph, thank you for the super chat. Wendy's never beating the phony allegation. She low-key tried to pin it on Eddie. Ciao. You said this scene was cringe at best. Honey, listen, it was a mess. I said a hot, raggedy mess because y'all shouldn't be in this boat in the first place. So now they're both crying. Wendy says, this is real tough. So now Wendy goes on to ask, what do you think this is going to, do you think this is going to affect our marriage? Eddie takes a pause and he says, it definitely has impact and is going to impact us. Wendy says, I just know that after this incident, I'm not the same person. She says she hopes she'll be okay. She says she hopes she'll be okay with you because she's not the same. So now Eddie says, God's got us. That's why we made it this far, 15 years. We're going to be okay. And now Wendy's just shaking her head. Again, I thought this whole conversation was odd. Wendy saying, I'm not going to be the same again after this. And then that last note about, I hope I'll be okay with you because I'm not the same. That gave me, listen, when ish hits the fan, it's going to be you and me and not together. It was giving, boy, I'm about to divorce your behind real soon. And if we get jail time, I'm definitely out the door. That's what it gave. This did not give me that we are ride or die, Bonnie and Clyde. This gave me that she is low-key letting him know that she will not be the same way Karen said she's not the same coming out of jail, and that Ray told her if they can't seem to make it work, that he'll let her go and free her and they'll divorce. Wendy gave me very much so the same exact vibe where, look, you on your own. It's going to be me and the babies going off into the sunset and we're going to go our separate ways. That's what I got. That's what. Now, if I took it the wrong way, if I interpreted that wrong, let me know in the comments in the chat. But as for me, how I interpreted that, her body language was off. I didn't see we're going to ride this out through thick and thin. I saw I'm about to let you know that I don't plan on staying if ish really hits the fan. That's the impression that I got. Just in my opinion. You said it kind of gave, they discussed it and they agree that Eddie will take the fall. So they're putting the narrative that it was all his fault, but out there on the show. But here's my thing though. Yes. I wonder if she's blaming him for everything because of his smoking gun email, but girl, I fear that's not how it works. Okay, so we see each other. This is my thing. I don't think that Wendy can use feign ignorance in this case. The fact that they have proof of them returning, both going to the stores to return things from 8 years ago. They were both a part of it. They both were a part of the whole fake robbery. Eddie emailed her saying, hey, do you have anything more that we can add to the list to get the max policy? He said, do you have another Dior shirt, a Dior purse, Dior shoes, Chanel bag, something, etc.? That email, for me, I do not think that she'll be able to just pin this on him. I don't. I really don't. I know that she might be wanting to do that, but I don't think that it's going to work, because the judge is going to say, in my opinion, it feels like the judge will say, well, how can you feign ignorance when the email shows that you guys are both complicit? Just my opinion. Yeah, that email was real bad. She can't. The proof is there. There is no way she's not implicated. Okay, we see each other, because I feel that way too. Grab the Chanel bag off the top shelf. Well, I'm not playing around. I'm serious. I'm not playing. Listen, I'm just telling it how it is. I'm not making a joke about this. It's a sad situation, but we're not going to sit up here and act like they both were now fools to do this and to think that they would get away with this. It's foolish. It's foolish. However which way you slice it, this was pure greed. It was arrogance. It was hubris. This was pure stupidity. And for Eddie to be a lawyer on top of that, and they both have 4 degrees, there is no excuse for this, period. No excuse for this. They have proof of them going back to the Gucci store to return a shirt, or no, to return a wallet from 2018. We are in 2026. Can you imagine going to Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Chanel and saying, hey, I want to return this bag, belt, shoe from 2018? What are you talking about? It's crazy. It's very sad. So anyhow, we now fast forward to 3 months later. It is the day of the reunion. Now, we know that they shot the reunion the second week of January, last month. So it's 5:30 a.m. because we know reunion days are all day. So we see them all arriving to their dressing rooms. Ashley sees Cameron's dressing room. She's like, wait, is Karen here? So now they're getting her. We see Ashley and Giselle in Giselle's dressing room. And Ashley's like, how is it going? And Giselle says, look, I'm looking forward to seeing Wendy in her State of the Union address today. I don't know what I would do in this situation. So Ashley says, if I'm being honest, I would be here as a nun, okay? So we do see Wendy walk in to get ready. And now we cut to Andy on stage, and the set is of Angel's Colorado trip. So we see Giselle come out first. Now, this was the first gag of the reunion. Baby Giselle sashay out. She was like, okay, she's cute. She's cute. I thought Giselle did look good. I mean, we know she was a whole off-the-shoulder number, right? That's her thing. Giselle just knew that she was sitting in the first seat next to Andy. And when Andy said, no, mama, you're sitting next to Wendy, Wendy's first seat next to me, she was like, wait, what? Do I have to hold Wendy's hand? He was like, well, no, not if you want to. It's whatever you want to do, but you will be sitting in the second seat. I said, oh, she was gagged. I said, oh, she was good and gagged. I said, girl, but Giselle, you can't possibly tell me that you thought that you deserved the first seat. I'm sorry, Giselle. You brought nothing this season. So for you to think that you deserve the first seat is comical. I said, girl, you're lucky that you're not third seat. If I'm being honest with you, Giselle, you and Ashley should be at the end of the couch. So being second chair, that's still good. So be happy with that. Yes, Giselle should have been third seat. Exactly. So now she sits down, and now we have Ashley come out. Stacey comes out. She sits in the first chair, rightfully so. I said, come through, Stacey. Now, I thought Stacey looked good. So Andy compliments Stacey's dress, and Stacey says, thank you so much. It's a Nigerian designer. So now you have Ashley talk about, oh, I wore that same dress at the last reunion. I just said, girl, like, you can't help yourself. I said, sweetheart, that's not the same dress. And like, it's always some shade with Ashley. You just can't, you know what it was? when Andy complimented Stacey, you could see the jealousy jump off of Ashley. Ashley was so pressed and bothered and envious that Andy complimented Stacey and not her. She was big mad. I said, girl, for you to try to tear her down, that was so nasty. There was no reason for you to say, oh, well, I had the same dress last year, girl. No, you didn't. And last year's dress looked a fool. So, girl, what are we talking about? But I said, babe, you really can't hide your jealousy. Green is not your color, although you're wearing red. But you just a mess. She's just very nasty. So now Ashley corrects herself and says, well, it's the same designer. So now Stacey says, I haven't even sat down yet, and already Ashley's coming for me. So now we have Angel come out. I thought Angel looked beautiful. Kiana comes out. She looked beautiful. Tia comes out. And so Tia says to Giselle, I took a shower just for you because I had running water. Tia, why are we throwing shade about the Colorado trip? I thought that you and Angel were friends. I thought y'all were cool. Because I remember how you closed out the finale. You were in the car with Angel consoling her. So now why are we throwing shade about, oh, I took a shower just for you, Giselle. I had hot running water. Like, really? And even Angel was sitting there looking at you like, really, girl? Like, for real? Like, what? Tia, I don't want to say that you're flopping for me, but you started off strong, but you lost me in the middle. Like somewhere between that beef with you and Stacey, you kind of lost me, just saying. Okay, you said Tia is a flop. Tia's stock went all the way down for me. Okay, Tia fumbled the bag for me. Tia's dress wasn't great. Neutral shade not matching her skin tone. You said also, Tia, I hope it wasn't the first shower since coming back from Colorado, weirdo. It's giving Sutton light. Okay, so wait a second. So we kind of all feel the same way about Tia then. All right, so we all see each other. Y'all, when I tell you, we are in such alignment today. Now, we do have one of them goes on to ask, who are we missing? Who are we still waiting for? They all say Wendy. So when I tell you, we see Wendy making her grand entrance, honey. She gives Eddie a kiss. And as she walks in with the feathers, now, Miss Wendy, girl, you might be a lot of things. And this whole fraud case is a fool, a sin, and a shame. But Miss Mamas, you ate this look down. All right. I said, girl, this is a look. I think I will go to say that it's Wendy's best look today. That the dress, the hair was flawless, giving very much like an old school, old Hollywood glam, very sexy, glamorous. I said, okay, you ate that one little thing. But besides all that, everything else is a mess. But baby, you look good. I said, I know that's right, girl. She looked good, honey. So they're all there. And Stacey even says, are you catching the Diana Ross vibe tonight? So before we get even more into this recap, I do have to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is Skims, honey. They are sponsoring today's live recap. So without further ado, let me show you guys why I love my Skims, all right? Let me hold on and play my little commercial, all right? Guys, I finally tried Skims after all the hype, and baby, this underwear is game changing. Now, when I tell y'all, my favorite pieces from the collection are the Fits Everybody Scoop bralette. Baby, when I tell you how the girls sit and it feels like I'm not wearing anything. It's just so comfortable, so sleek, so sexy, and I'm in love. The Fits Everybody thong, when I tell y'all, the feeling is like no other underwear I've worn before. Honey, you don't realize that you even have anything underneath. I'm trying to tell y'all, the material is smooth, it's buttery, it's seamless. Love. I'm officially a Skims girl for life. And shop the Skims Fits Everybody collection at skims.com. And after you place your order, be sure to let them know that I sent you. Select the Brooke Ashley podcast in the survey, and be sure to select my show in the drop-down menu that follows. Y'all are so sweet in the comments. Thank you. So again, special thank you to Skims. Thank you for sponsoring today's live video. And now on to the rest of the recap. All right. And all the information is down below in the description box. Y'all are so sweet. All right. So now we finally start off the reunion. Andy says, it's hard to believe that it's been a decade since we introduced Potomac to the world. Let's reflect back on the horse that y'all rode in on. We have 2 OGs on the stage. The whole show is based on a mom group that you, Karen, and Sharice were in. Giselle says, no, it was just me and Karen, not Sharice. Now, mind you, for those of y'all who don't know, Potomac was originally supposed to be about Jack and Jill moms. And Jack and Jill received word and they sent out a cease and desist. And that's why it turned into a Housewives franchise. They were originally supposed to be another show, right? And Ashley was supposed to be on Blood, Sweat, and Heels, DC. And they scrapped that and she came on to Potomac. And that's why we're stuck with her now, okay? Yes, child. But anyhow, Andy goes on to ask Giselle, did she ever think that the show would turn into what it is today? Giselle says, no, I didn't. But I knew after I met Ashley that once Ashley came on, I said, we have something special here. Now, hold on, Greg. Let me just say this, Greg. Giselle, I see right through you. I always know when the girls are trying to give each other a lifeline. You know that Ashley's job is on the line, right? For you to say, when I saw Ashley, I just knew that she was something special. Girl, did you? Did you? And let's not forget that when the show first came on, you and Robin couldn't stand Ashley. So I don't know if I believe that you thought that she was something special. I think that as the show went on, you said, wait, we can get somebody to do our dirty work because she's so desperate to be on the show. And you took advantage of that. But I don't believe for a minute that you saw Ashley and thought, oh, we have something special here. I believe that you realized that Ashley's willing to get down and dirty and do the dirty work and be messy all for a check. And that will help the show. So yeah, I said, girl, stop. And also you are aware of the discourse surrounding Ashley this season. And you know that the majority of the fans and the viewers want Ashley off the show. Even people who are indifferent about Ashley, even Ashley fans, I mean, I know that's an oxymoron in itself, but even Ashley fans are out here saying that they want her off the show. Her time is gone. So for you to say, well, she's special, that was your way of throwing a lifeline, a life raft to Ashley, in my humble opinion. Okay. Yes. Giselle wants to keep her minion. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, honey. Ashley has fans. She has, I think, what, 3 fans if I could guess. Okay. You said not her kids. I'm screaming. Ashley's not even a likable villain. She's not. Y'all have me screaming. So anyhow, Andy goes on to ask, what was it like for them since they're the 2 OGs? What was it like for her and Ashley to film without Karen this season? Giselle says it was tough. Ashley says it felt foreign because she's such an integral part of the show. So Giselle says that I love to argue with Karen, so it was tough. I missed her. So Andy says, well, Karen is here today. She'll be coming out later, but although she wasn't on the season, I heard that she's been watching the season. So Giselle says, yeah, I know she's been watching because she's been texting me as she's been watching. So yeah. So now Andy goes on to greet Angel and Tia. He says, you guys were our season 10 newbies. And he goes on to ask each of them, what were their expectations coming onto the show? Angel says her expectation was to come in, meet some new ladies, and maybe gain some friends. Andy goes on to ask her, how did that go? Angel says it was a rough landing, but I did have some fun in the process. So now Andy goes on to ask Tia, were her expectations met? Tia says, yeah, she moved to the DMV during COVID and she was eager to make friends and meet new people. And she accomplished just that. Now, Tia, did you really think that you were going to meet lifelong best friends? We can be so honest. Just say, you know what? My goal was met. I got on the show. I'm famous now. I have some D-list fame and I love it. But for us to even say that we're going on these shows to make friends, stop. Stop. It happens once every so often, but we know how these shows go. We know the nature of these shows. So nobody's fooling me to say that they're going on. And Tia's very calculated. Like, I can see Angel saying that she hoped to make friends, but for Tia to say that, I'm not buying that. I think that Tia is very much fame hungry and she is thrilled to be on the show and be famous now. And she's loving it. I don't think she came in hoping to make lifelong besties, in my opinion. So yes, Housewives is not for making friends. You said that was being friendly, Brooke. You said D-list is generous. Y'all have me screaming. So anyhow, we now get to Andy going on to ask Stacey, how was her second season on the show? Was it a sophomore slump or was it a season 2 glow up? So Stacey says it was a bit of a rough season of both, but she appreciates it. The way she's grown and glown with her girl, Wendy. Andy was like, glown? Like, is that a word? And Stacey says, yes, glown is a word. So now we get to Kiarna. Andy points out how she started as a friend, and now she's been a full-time housewife for 2 seasons now. He says housewives are expected to share more info about their lives versus friends. How has the adjustment been for her being going from friend of to now full-time? So Kiarna says, I think last year warmed her up a little bit. She's having fun with it. It's been good. So now Andy goes on to ask Wendy how she's doing. He says, Wendy, you've been on the show for half of its life. How would you compare the Wendy of before to the Wendy of today? Wendy says the Wendy who started on the show was so unsure of herself. She had just given birth to Cameron, and to see that in her first season and go through this transformation, it's been empowering. Let me just my opinion, just my 2 cents, right? Respectfully, I don't know how you say you've gone from unsure of yourself to now confident, and it's been this transformation when I'm still seeing insecurity. I'm still seeing a wannabe. I'm still seeing somebody who is so happy to be in the cool girl clique after being the outcast for years. It's no shade. If you were so sure of yourself, you wouldn't be in this boat right now. Again, it's no shade, but let's just call a thing. Let's talk facts. Let's talk facts. Let's talk facts. Yes, hustling backwards. It's very true. Going to the next thing, Claudia. Y'all have me screaming. Listen, when you're sure of yourself, there's no need to keep up with anybody. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You're confident in your skin. You love who you are. You like what you have. There's no need to even feel like you need to compete or compare because you know that you alone are enough. And I just feel like, again, the way that she's been acting all season long, being up Giselle and Ashley's behinds all season has been very nauseating to watch. Somebody who is sure of themselves would not have sat up there fake flirting and showing her cat to Mia, somebody who assaulted her and never apologized to her in season 7. Somebody who's sure of themselves would have paid Mia dust going forward until she got a good apology, respectfully. And we can have different opinions, that's fine. But from where I'm sitting, I don't see somebody who is secure in herself. I don't. So I don't. And feel free to fight me down in the comments. That's fine. But I said what I said, and it is what it is. I don't see a confident woman. I don't. I see it's more of the same, just in better gowns and better purses and better shoes and more expensive cars and jewelry. And that's great. but I don't know if I would say that you're now sure of yourself. Because if you were sure of yourself, you wouldn't have felt the need to sit up here and pull this stunt to impress people who don't even deserve all that. Just saying. So, yeah, listen, just saying. You said Wendy's more insecure. I think she is too. I think that the show has exacerbated the insecurity because the need to always feel like you have to be on top. You got to be the baddest. You got to be the richest. I think that pressure that she put on herself to be seen as that girl of this franchise really seeped into her mind and messed her up. I honestly feel that way. So, child. Just my 2 cents. I saw one of y'all saying, "What do you mean by wannabe?" Exactly how I meant it. You want to be with the in crowd. You like, I didn't mince words. I didn't stutter. You know, again, you don't have to agree, but that's just how I feel. Take it or leave it. Just saying. Do you listen? Because I can already see somebody already tried me talking about a wannabe. What does that mean? Like, I'm just like, child, keep it cute, keep it cute. Exactly what I said. So oh, you just saw somebody get blocked in real time. Okay, good. Okay, great. Oh, thank you, Jameer. Jameer, I appreciate you. Don't be working Jameer too hard today, y'all. Thank you, Jameer. I really appreciate you. Is that the one who said that about what were they saying? Well, whatever. Is that the one who said that about what do you mean by wannabe? Or is it somebody else that I didn't see? Oh, you blocked 3 people today? Oh, I didn't even see them. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Child, I didn't even notice. Well, God is good, honey. God is good. Listen, it is what it is. I already knew that we were going to be dealing with some nuts in the house because of what's going on. So, Wendy, you got your people in here talking crazy and reckless. Well, I don't even know what they said. So, yeah, God's protecting me from the foolishness. So, whatever, child. Wait, what happened? Brooke said it ain't changing over here. I'm not. Oh, somebody screamed at me? Oh, somebody was talking crazy to me? No, I'm not. Honey, I am nobody's, respectfully, honey. God is good, but listen, I am still a young girl. Don't even try it. Love you down, sis. But oh, they screamed. They all can't. What did they? Oh, okay, well, whatever. Well, keep it cute. Oh my gosh, you guys cannot make this up. You guys cannot make this up. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, I didn't. Listen again, God is good. God is good. So, oh, somebody was doing all caps and was using, oh, well, listen, I'm still saying what I'm saying. Let's get back on track, honey. Let's get back on track. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jameer. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jameer because I didn't even see the foolishness. So listen, I'm in great spirits. That, you know what it is? It's folks who probably were the side piece. They probably got some flowers yesterday, some half price chocolates, and they're in a pissy mood and want to take it out on me and everybody else who had a great Valentine's Day. That's all it is. I can't be mad. I can't be mad. More eyeballs for me, a click and a view. Thank you for your service. So let's get back on track, Claudia. Exactly. Okay. So anyhow, Wendy goes on. No. Andy says, well, Wendy, there's been an elephant in the room. There are some serious things happening in your world. On October 9th, you and your husband were arrested on felony charges. You're facing 16 counts of alleged fraud. What can you tell us about your case? Now, I was surprised that Wendy did talk about not about the case, but about the situation as much as she did, because I fully expected her to say, oh, I can't talk about it. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. I plead the fifth. So I was pleasantly surprised hearing her talk about how she felt in the whole ordeal, right? So now she says, what I can tell you is that the investigation is still ongoing. We've had court appearances. Shout out to our girl, Taria Faizan, the We Go podcast. What else is going on podcast? Taria has been at all the court appearances, okay? We love Taria down. So anyhow, Wendy goes on to say, it's been a very trying time for my family. So Andy's asking her, how are her kids handling this? So I thought this was strange. Somebody let me know in the chat. I was confused by this. Wendy says it varies because Cameron is not aware of what's going on, but Carter is aware of everything. We tried to shield him immediately when it happened. I called my mom and sister to pick them up. They weren't home when it all happened. She says, I was taking a nap and woke up to Eddie saying, baby, the police are here at the door. She called her mom and sister to pick them up, she said. Then she says, Carter knew something was up because the fact that they were randomly spending the night with her mom and sister, he knew something was going on. Now, let me know if I'm crazy. I could have sworn they have 3 children, correct? They have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. Why was she only telling us about how 2 out of the 3 kids felt? I was waiting for her to tell us how the other son felt. Why was she only talking about Cameron and Carter? I said, what if the other boy's name is Cruz, correct? I thought that was very strange to me. Did anybody else feel that was weird? I thought it was very strange. I said, and both of her sons are a year apart. One is 11, the other one is 12, or one is 12, the other is 13. So obviously the other boy wouldn't know as well because he's the same age. So I was confused as to why we weren't hearing about how all 3 kids felt, just the one son and the daughter, but not the other son. Okay. So we all see each other. I was shocked. I think it was just poor editing. I thought she has a daughter. She has 2 boys and a daughter. Cameron is her daughter. He could be more quiet with his feelings and expressions. I noticed that too. Maybe the other son is not talking to them and is okay. That thought crossed my mind too. And she's too embarrassed to say that the other son isn't speaking to them and he's pissed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's staying with the aunt and the mom and he doesn't want, he's just so angry and she's too embarrassed to say that. Because I thought that was very odd that she did not mention the other son and how he felt. And I said, now I know that I'm not crazy. They have 3 kids, not 2 kids. So why are we only hearing about 2 out of 3 kids and their feelings? So I said, child, I feel sorry for all the kids because their parents have them in a mess. So anyhow, she said, so Andy says, no, Wendy says Carter opened his phone and saw everything. So now Andy's asking if he saw the mugshots. Wendy says what hurt her the most was he saw them and he didn't tell her mom or sister. He went to sleep with it. Now, Wendy, respectfully, I doubt that your mom and sister didn't know that day. It was all over the news. Your mom and sister watched TV. They knew. They probably didn't want to say anything to him because they didn't want to scare him. But for you to act like, well, he shielded this from his grandma and his aunt, best believe your mom and sister already knew what was going on. I was also shocked that Andy did not ask how your mom and sister are handling all this because I know Susan is pissed. I know Susan is over there yelling out Holy Ghost fire, screaming, cursing, carrying on. I know she is livid right now at what's going on. But I was surprised that Andy did not ask you how your mom and sister are faring hearing this news. I was shocked. So now she says, We picked him up from school the next day and pretended like everything was fine. And I saw that in the back seat, he seemed upset. She says, I asked him, baby, what's wrong? And he asked us, where were you? She says, I always promise my kids that I will never lie to them. Just one question. Just one question for the good folks in the back. You always promised your kids that you wouldn't lie to them. So my question is for you and Eddie. Somebody below, just let me know in the chat if I'm crazy. My first initial thought was, so what did you tell your kids about the so-called robbery that happened in 2023? Because that was a bold-faced lie. So what did you tell, like, for you to say I would never lie to them, but what, the whole robbery that never happened, what did you tell them about that? Because they were, I said, child, a mess. So now she goes on to add that she just held him in the back seat and they cried together in the car. She says a new thing that they've implemented is, you hear the sirens? Wendy, child, you hear the sirens again, child? A mess, honey. The cops in the background, okay? A new thing is when her and Eddie go to court, now they tell the kids they don't want them to be blindsided. Again, I was just confused as to why we only heard the perspective from only 2 out of the 3 kids and not the other son. So now you have Giselle trying to throw in some shade. She's joking around and she says, now Giselle goes on to ask, so was the nap the reason why that wig was a little bit to the side? Because that wig was wigging, baby. Tia jokes and says that was her nap wig. So Wendy says, no, that was my professor wig. They were like, girl, that was not your professor wig. Please stop. So Andy's asking, how do you explain the shit-eating grin in the mugshot? So Wendy says, oh, about that. The guy taking my pictures in the jail, he was really nice. He kept saying, give me another look, because he saw that I was really sad. I was crying. He was trying to cheer me up. So Stacey had me screaming. She was like, wait, he let you choose your mugshot picture? So now Ashley starts laughing. And now Andy's asking Wendy if she regrets smiling in her mugshot. So Wendy says she doesn't regret it because at the end of the day, we all go through things and you try to smile through the pain. I am so tired. Lord, please release me from folks who always want to talk about, well, we all go through things. Yes, we all do go through things in life, but sometimes we go through things because it's our fault. This is your fault. You did this. This did not just happen to you. It's an unfortunate circumstance because of unforeseen circumstances. No, when you choose to do unsavory things, the clown comes back to bite. I don't like how folks use, well, you know, God's got us and we all go through things, child, and nobody's exempt from going through stuff. No, 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 no. There's a big difference between when you're being tested versus you put yourself in that position. So don't lump us all in and say, oh, well, we all go through things. Well, no, we don't all go through fraud cases because we're not like I don't like when folks do that. It just feels like a way to skip out on accountability because I said, oh my gosh. I said, okay, girl. I said, okay. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I rebuke that we nonsense too. I'm like, child, we don't speak French over here. We don't speak French. Who's we? So now she adds that, they ask about Eddie. Did Eddie pop a happy Eddie before he took his mugshot? So they're all laughing about that. And she says, no, he didn't take a happy Eddie, even though he looked high as a kite, he didn't. She says he took a nap in his cell. They tapped him and said, okay, it's time to take your picture. That's why he looked like that. He had just been woken up from his nap. So now Stacey wants to know if they spent a night in jail. Wendy says, we did. It was scary. So they're all like, wait, we thought you were in and out of jail. We had no idea that you spent the night. So now Giselle's asking if the people were in her jail cell. Wendy says, yeah, girl, it was a full house in that jail cell. She says, you lose your autonomy in jail. They control the lights. They control when you wake up and go to sleep. So Giselle's like, where did you use the restroom? So Wendy says there is a bathroom, but she held in her pee for all those hours. I said, you know how uncomfortable that is to hold in your pee for 36 hours? Wendy, I know you were in pain. So now Andy brings up how when he spoke to Karen for his one-on-one interview with her, how Karen revealed that she used a wreath of tampons. They all correct him and say, no, she used pads. So now Giselle says, Wendy, I remember talking to you when Karen went in and you said, I can't believe she woke up in jail. I can't believe what she's going through. And now you're going through it as well. And you're talking about it like it's a day in the park with the tulips. So Ashley says, yeah, you're talking real jovial about this whole situation. Are you, Giselle goes on to ask, are you okay? So Wendy says, no, she's not okay. Now, here's my thing. I think that Wendy is trying to save face at this reunion. I think that the embarrassment and still trying to not give away the last of her dignity and pride, she's not trying to cry and just fall apart. But I understand why Giselle is so shocked that Wendy seems so calm and like nonchalant about this. But at the same time, I'm not really that surprised because I do feel like somebody like Wendy is not going to let them see her sweat. Although it actually probably would help her out if she did start crying, I guess. But in this case, I don't think that Wendy's being I think people feel like she's being nonchalant or flippant or smug about this situation, but I think that I see a very scared woman who's trying to save face and not break down because she's scared. I think that's what it really is, in my opinion. So you said what y'all want her to do, break down in front of her haters. Giselle got nerves. She never showed emotions. I agree. Wendy needs to show a little something through this, though this prideful act is doing nothing for her. She's trying to save face. I agree, a defense mechanism. I agree. It wouldn't help. They would just say crying equals guilty. I don't think she wants to implicate herself because she still has her trial coming up, so she can't talk too much innocent until proven guilty. My thoughts exactly. I would never be vulnerable around these ladies either. You said, as a fellow Nigerian, Wendy was taught not to be vulnerable. I think she's trying to save face and also showing her emotions around this cast has never gone well for her. Yeah, you can hear it in her voice that she's really trying to hold on and keep from crying, but she is scared to death. And I think that Giselle is being a bit disingenuous to say, oh, you're acting like it's a walk in the park with a bed of tulips. Well, no, she's not. I think that anybody with half a brain cell knows that she's terrified. She's probably exhausted all of her emotions. Honestly, I think you reach a point of numbness. That's very true. That's very true. So paralegal here, she's saving face, but these women don't wish her well at all. There is no reaction that can give that will satisfy. Yes, she was meek and quiet at home, and she's being blessed for acting too quiet and meek. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Very true. So, yeah, you said she showed up. You said Wendy made her bed. She definitely want to break down. Anybody would. She just doesn't feel safe opening up to those wicked witches. Wendy's just trying to make it through, honey, and collect that check at the end, honey. She showed up despite it all. She showed up, and I'm not the biggest Wendy fan, but in comparison to what Karen did, I'll cut Wendy a little slack. So now, and hold on, one more thing. The same thing is being said about Karen, because a lot of people, when I recap the Karen interview with Andy, a lot of y'all were split down the middle. I had folks saying, oh, she's still smug, she's still arrogant, there's no accountability. And I feel like there has been some accountability on Karen's part, but I think that there's something to be said about when people aren't sobbing and crying and breaking down. then it becomes, oh, you don't care, you're smug about this whole thing. And I think, again, like y'all said, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So yes, she's being, one of y'all said she's being stoic. So anyhow, we're at the part with Stacey. Yeah, we're on. Oh, no, hold on. Oh, I knew I was missing something. Just as they're about to wrap up Andy asking about Wendy and how she's doing, Ashley jumps in out of nowhere. Ashley, when I tell you it's going to be you and I as well, because Miss Girl, you kept trying it. This was nasty work. Now, however I feel about any one of these ladies, Ashley, it remains to be said that you are the most diabolical one on this cast, hands down. Ashley, when you jumped in to give your 2 cents that nobody asked for, Ashley says, well, you know, my biggest fear is going to jail. The most terrifying thing in the world to me. To be in a group with 2 ladies in this group who have been to jail, it feels terrifying to me. The way Andy just looked at you and said, all right, it's time for Stacey's segment. Babe, the secondhand embarrassment that I felt. Girl, everybody's afraid of going to jail. What are you talking about? What you said was so stupid. That was just a way to get your dig in. That was a way to just rub it in Wendy's face that her freedom is on the line and yours isn't. There was no other way around that. My thing is this. If you want to be shady, then just own it. But don't sit up here and be all smug, throw a rock, and then hide your hand. And you know how I feel about Wendy right now, current, present day, right? I am definitely not Wendy's biggest fan, right? Okay? Y'all know the story. And even I knew that you were on some BS. There was no reason for you to say that. That was just so dumb. And you consistently have that smug smirk every time you're being messy and nasty and petty. You live off of other people's misfortunes and their downfalls. Like, you get such pleasure from it. There was no reason for you to say that at all. It was stupid. You were stating the obvious. Of course, nobody wants to go to jail, you idiot. What are you talking about? Child. Yes. No, dear Bravo. 10 seasons is enough. No more Ashley Darby. I agree. The concern trolling from the cast is so disingenuous. That Kyle smirk. Yes, Ashley, you tried it. She did try it. Is soulless and soulless Ashley trying to confess something? It was a dirty tactic to get Wendy off the show and save her own spot. I'm surprised she didn't say, I come work around the jailbird. Well, she definitely was. That definitely was her way of trying to get Wendy off the show. And also, girl, let's be so for real right now. Listen, for you to not count Mia, because even though Mia is no longer on the show, Mia is still a part of the Potomac legacy, right? She was on for 4 seasons. For you to say, because I've been around, now 2 women who have been in jail in this group. No, sis. If I were Wendy, I would have said, girl, actually 3. Don't forget that Miss Mia was in prison a week after I got booked. So, girl, don't sit up here and don't do that. I know Mia's off the show, but it's not just Karen and Wendy. It's also Mia as well. So it's 3 people. And you were sitting up there playing patty cake with Mia every chance you got. Like, I don't like that. She's just, and also, girl, let's be really honest. You need to thank the good Lord in heaven that you are still on this show and that you weren't kicked off this show when Michael did what he did. Because quiet as his cat, no, loud as it is, Michael should be under the jail and you should be off this show. So, girl, not too much about, oh, I'm so terrified of jail and, oh, what a shame, you're in jail, child, and I'm not. Girl, stop. You are only still on this show by the skin of your teeth, girl. I said the audacity, the absolute audacity and the gall, please. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because, honey, you know that your job was hanging on by a thread when Michael did what he did. And by the grace of God, he got off and wasn't charged and wasn't sued for what he was doing. So, girl, not too much. So now we get to Stacey's segment, and Andy says that he's obsessed with Stacey's old QVC videos. They play the video where she's throwing off the earrings, where she says, let's talk about the length. Let's talk about the stones. Let's talk about the drama. So Andy's joking around about how, he's like, Kiarna, do you think that you could fall asleep to Stacey's videos? Kiarna's like, it's a no for me, but I have seen them and they are entertaining. Again, Kiarna, I don't know what this imaginary beef with Stacey is, but you look foolish. You really do. You have yet to let us know why you have beef with Stacey. It makes no sense. So now Andy brings up Stacey being featured in Vanity Fair's Best Performances of 2025 list. Stacey says God is good, won't he do it? She felt incredibly humbled and grateful. So now Andy goes on to ask Giselle what was her reaction to Stacey being in Vanity Fair. Giselle says, well, Potomac has gotten a lot of drama. We've had people in jail. Sorry, Wendy. So this is positive. Congratulations. Now, Giselle looked pained, in my humble opinion, to give Stacey her propers, because Giselle, the only article write-ups you've gotten have been in Essence magazine 2 years in a row about being colorist along with Robin and Ashley and Mia. No shade. But I said, I know it must pain you that you've been written up for being a colorist and Stacey's being written up for being a top performer on a top reality show. I know it has to sting, but again, I digress. So now Andy goes on to ask Stacey if Stacey considers what she gives on the show as a performance. Because that's the thing that the other ladies could take an issue with. So Giselle says, ding, 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 ding. And Stacey says, well, one of the best things about my QVC videos coming to light is that you can see that I've always been the same person. And Ashley says, well, you were performing for QVC. That was your job. So Stacey says, indeed. But I think you can see my personality and genuine joy of being alive that runs through me when you see those videos. So now, let me just say this. If we want to talk about performances, then let's talk about Giselle and Ashley. I have told you guys several times that they disassociate when they are filming scenes, right? Crystal Minkoff on Beverly Hills revealed that when she would film scenes with Kyle Richards and Kyle would pick at her and curse her out, after the cameras went down, Kyle would be like, oh yeah, sorry about that, girl. Sorry I cursed you out and called you a see you next Tuesday and a bitch, but you want to get drinks right next door? And Crystal would be like, girl, what? Giselle and Ashley do the same thing. Sweet as pie in real life, but on the show, they are absolute hell. Is that not a performance? So I'm not understanding the smoke for Stacey about performing when you guys are performing as well. Y'all are performing as villains, but in real life, lovely in real life. So again, help me understand. Why are we getting on Stacey when so many of these women are self-producing, they're acting, giving us a completely different persona? So why are we getting mad at Stacey now? Because she's doing the same thing. I think that y'all are mad that your acting has led y'all to backlash, articles being called out, and petitions to get you guys off the show. But Stacey's acting has gotten her Vanity Fair. It's gotten her a new cannabis line, the most beloved reality star to hit 2025 and maybe 2026. So I think it's jealousy on your part, because again, you guys are all quote unquote acting, especially Giselle and Ashley. So help me understand why there's so much smoke for Stacey, because Giselle said on a recent panel that she disassociates when she's on that show and it's just a job. And when the job is over, she goes home, doesn't think about what she said or did in that scene until it's time to film the next scene the next day. So tell me, is that not a performance? Let me know, y'all. Am I crazy? I like to believe that I'm a very rational person. So let me know. Have I lost my mind? Let me know. Let me know. Stacey does it better? Yes. Yes. Halle Berry is using her as a meme too. Exactly. So I'm very confused as to why there's smoke for Stacey. but there's no smoke for yourselves when you guys have repeatedly said off camera, on panels, in interviews that this is just a job to you. You are just here for the paycheck. You don't care what the fans say. You don't care what the bloggers have to say. You don't give a damn. It's just a job and you're a performer. So now we want to get on Stacey about her performing. Got it. Oh, I'm not going to sit up here and do this. I'm not. So it is giving actress. It's giving that it's no longer a reality show about reality. It's more of a scripted soap opera, if we're being honest. So yes, the fact that you can disassociate from real life is crazy. I agree. I think I don't believe it. I don't know how that works either. I will never understand how you can set people up, talk about somebody's husband like a dog, accuse somebody's husband of inappropriate, deviant behavior, and then say, it's just a job, it's just entertainment, it's not that deep, stop making it a big deal, I'm just here for the check. I'll never understand that mindset. I'll never understand that. So yes, they're all insane. No, guys, hold on for 1 minute. My MacBook charger came out of the outlet, and it's about to die. Just hold on, let me plug it back in. I'll be right back. Give me 3 seconds. Okay, here we go. Yes, honey, let's get those likes up. Yeah, we have 1,200 in the chat and less than 400 likes. Y'all better, come on, this is quality entertainment. Come on, y'all, get the likes up. A liking is free. You don't have to pay any money. There's no subscription. There's no fee. This is not Apple Music. I'm not getting $9.99 out of you. You can hit that like button, child. or are these a bunch of Wendy's people? Are these Wendy's people, child? Yes, honey. Must be secret viewers, honey. Mixed with Wendy's people, child. Oh gosh. Y'all have me screaming. Oh my gosh. Y'all have me in tears, okay? So wait, y'all have me in tears today, please. All right. So we now have Tia jumping in, and Tia, I felt like Tia wanted camera time, right? It gave me that Tia was fighting for her spot since she's at the end of the couch, in my humble opinion. I could be seeing it wrong, but I felt like Tia definitely wanted her big moment, and she got it. So now Tia says, I do want to say that I sat in front of Stacey on a plane for one of our cast trips, and I could hear somebody speaking. I didn't even know that it was her. Her voice sounded completely different. Her voice was deeper, and she used a lot more colloquial terms. It's not as polished as she presents herself. Now, Tia, this was old T. We already knew that Stacey does exaggerate her voice just a tad. AJ blew up her spot. Shout out to AJ. But AJ blew up her spot last season. He said, girl, you don't talk like this. Like, baby, you are from Detroit. Me and you used to be in Chicago cutting up. Like, stop. Like, girl, this is stop. Like, who are you right now? Who is this character? So we already knew that. You thought you were trying to expose her, and we already knew what it was. So, girl, this kind of fell flat to me, in my opinion. Also, Tia, I feel like you want to be more bothered by Stacey. It's just not that deep for you to be this mad at her, in my humble opinion. Okay? Yes, isn't that code switching? Exactly. Very much stale tea. So now Stacey says, well, you would know. You're the queen of accents, so you could call it. So now Tia says, may I say something? Because I do think that Stacey has a QVC voice, but I thought she was looking for something to pin on me. And that's what she found, because I have an English accent, and that clearly triggers you, Stacey, because you married up and you're trying to be prim and proper. I said, oh, not her saying that, she married up. Like, girl, I said, oh, I said, okay. I said, all right, Tia. They were all like, oh. So Stacey says, I didn't marry up, and it's and it's not about your English accent. It's about how it doesn't ring true when you talk. Now, I was with Angel. Me and Angel shared the same sentiment because Angel was like, this whole argument is kind of silly. Like, what are we doing here? And yeah, I was a bit bored by it too because Stacey, love you down, but I don't believe that Tia is faking her accent. That is the way she speaks. Like, I'm sorry, sister, but let's just let the mouse go. Let them out. This whole argument was so dumb. And there's nothing wrong with marrying up. That's what women should be doing instead of marrying down. So again, I was over this entire argument. Tia inserting herself. I was over it. I really was over it. So did Tia marry down? What was she saying? Child. Yes, you're supposed to marry up. Where is the read? Honey, exactly. You said, Tia, why did you marry down? What's wrong with the bob, Tia? Okay. So now, Giselle jumps in and says, Stacey, when have you ever heard Tia talk differently? Stacey says, in the same way she's heard me speak differently. Giselle says, I said when. So Stacey says, well, she's been married to a man from Chicago for years. She's slipped and slid. I don't know what point Stacey was trying to make with her marrying a man from Chicago. Like, again, I was just lost. I was getting irritated because, again, in my opinion, when we have such major storylines that should be the center, I'm not trying to get caught up for 10 minutes about accents and who speaks like this. Like, personally, let's get to the good stuff, please, because I was over it. So now, do you mind if we kind of like fast forward through this? Because I was over it. They were talking in circles. It was too much. Tia says, you know, that doesn't give me an American accent. I have American kids. You're exposing your ignorance for somebody who always talks about how many countries they've been to, and you're always counting it out. You think it's an accomplishment. So Stacey says, I do think traveling the world is an accomplishment. And Stacey says, what kind of read is that? So Ashley jumps in and says, well, yeah, I agree with Stacey. Being well-traveled is an accomplishment. Stacey says, thank you, Ashley. So now Giselle says, you know, she's joking around with a fake British accent. They all laugh. So now Andy's like, all right, let's go back in time for a minute. Stacey, when your integrity came into question about 1 year ago, we sat on this stage. TJ was claiming that you paid him to be on the show. The infamous bring Eddie out. Andy's asking, does she still deny those claims about TJ? So Stacey says, I still stand in my truth. And Andy asks her, did Timo meet TJ when you were on QVC working with him? Stacey says, of course. Andy goes on to ask, was TJ the reason for your breakup with Timo? Stacey says, not at all. Then we find out that Stacey was the one who filed for divorce from Timo. So now Andy points out that Tia and Wendy were the only ones who had conversation with Timo this season. And now Andy reads a viewer question asking Stacey about how Stacey claimed that Timo came to Potomac, the Potomac and Ponies event, because of her relationship with Wendy, yet he didn't attend the couples dinner due to Wendy and Eddie. Make it make sense, girl. So Stacey says, well, Timo knew how hurt I was by Wendy and Eddie being the messengers of a very painful moment with the whole, you know, the receipts about TJ being paid by Stacey, right? And I have to be honest, that is understandable because I wouldn't be eager to meet somebody who tried to embarrass my spouse either. So I get that. And hold on. I'm not going to hold you. And I've said this before. I said this in the finale episode when they were stuck in Colorado. I can't quite get a gauge of Wendy and Stacey's friendship. It feels very much like frenemies because Wendy's like a good 2 for 2, 3 for 3 when it comes to doing some underhanded things to Stacey, because that was petty and nasty work for her to even do the whole bring Eddie out and to even drop that stale tea about TJ was paid by her. Like if that's your friend, why would you bring that to the forefront on national TV? Why wouldn't you tell her that off camera? Like, hey, girl, this man is saying, you know, that you paid him. Do that off camera, but to do it on national TV like that to embarrass her, that was messed up. And if you're good friends with somebody, you wouldn't embarrass your friend. So anyhow, and then also the way Wendy was screaming and yelling at Stacey in Colorado on the last day, no ma'am. Because I promise you, that car would have been turned upside down had Wendy been screaming at me like that. And again, Wendy, I'm just surprised you have more smoke for Stacey for no reason than you did for the woman who assaulted you. And she assaulted you twice. She threw the drink in your face and then hit you upside your head with a cheap clutch, and then got you kicked out of the Airbnb, a hot mess. And then 3 episodes later, y'all are playing patty cake, bumping purses and losing change, or playing like y'all want to do that. I don't understand it. I will never understand that. I will never understand how you really let Mia off the hook. I can't. I truly can't. So now, Stacey goes on to say that he didn't go to the dinner, not only because he wasn't in town, but because of last season. So Andy says, regarding him being out of town, it seemed like rolling the tapes back, it proved that the timeline was not what you said it was. Stacey says, looking back at it, it does look like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but my husband does travel twice a week, sometimes internationally. He wasn't in town, and I didn't want him to meet Wendy and Eddie just yet. If I invite you to meet my family and I say to you he's uncomfortable, why would you go back and repeat that story to the person? She's talking to Tia now. So Tia says, but you didn't say that. Can I speak? Tia says, the straw that broke a camel's back for me was rather than you just owning that you got called out, you made it out like I lied on you. The minute you got caught up, you lied on me. So Stacey says, Tia, when you came and met Timo and Arabella that day, shout out to Alexander Rogers, because I cannot hear Stacey saying her daughter Arabella's name without thinking about the way Alexander Rogers says Arabella. I need, Alex, if you're watching this, I need you to make a 20-minute video of you just saying Arabella. Like, please, that would make my day. Because the way Alex says that, it scratches my brain in the best way possible. Like it's perfection. It is the funniest thing, just hilarious, okay? Yes, the way he says it, it literally, it tickles me so bad. Tickles me so bad. Yes, that's exactly how he says it. I need a 20-minute video just of him saying Arabella. Yes. Yes, he's hysterical. Okay. Yes, it is. No, it is my newest vocal stim. I randomly say it too. I'll be like doing something. I could be cleaning the bathroom and I'll randomly just say it just the way he says it. I crack myself up. It is the funniest thing. Okay. All right. So, Stacey says, you didn't come to meet Timo and Arabella to genuinely get to know us. You came to clock in and gather information to take back to your master. I said, girl, not her master. I said, girl, I said, not 1861 girl. I said, not master child. They were all like, excuse me? Like, what? So Tia was like, master, like, pardon me? So Ashley's like, that's a very strong word. Move on to the next thing, Claudia. Move on to the next thing, Claudia. Giselle says, you report back to your master, and your master would be Wendy. Wendy's like, I'm nobody's master. So now Tia says, the wires have been crossed, and I think that this needs more context. I was uncomfortable because I had heard what you had gone to repeat about Monique to her ex-husband that affected her family. One other thing, when I said to you, do you know Chris Samuels? And you said, I don't know that man. Then you said, I would never discuss that man's family with him. I only know him socially. So Tia says, I walked away and I was like, my heart is racing. If somebody can hold your hand and lie like that, I was really bothered. So now we get a viewer question for Stacey, and it says, Stacey, it seems like you had way more smoke for Tia at your Shio launch than Ashley. What Ashley did was way worse to you. Do you regret kicking Tia out of your launch for Shio? Stacey says no. Now, Stacey, I was surprised to hear that, because the way Ashley has been on your behind since you came on this show, And the way Ashley was calling you a liar, she called you a $2 hoe. And at your launch party, I was surprised that you kicked Tia out and not Ashley. Because had it been me, I would have kicked them both out, or I would have at least kicked Ashley out. Ashley's mouth is reckless. And I'm sorry, Tia's not my favorite right now, but just for the sake of being fair, Ashley was very nasty to you at the day of your cannabis line launch. And I think that she should have gotten kicked out over Tia, in my humble opinion. And I said that when I did the recap for that episode. But I was surprised that you had no regrets about kicking Tia out, because, again, I would have had more smoke for Ashley than Tia, just my opinion. Okay? They both should have been kicked out. Exactly. So now we have another viewer question regarding Stacey being adamant about not opening up her own cannabis line last year to turn around and launch one. They go on to ask her, can you admit that the gears were in motion to open it up last year? So Stacey says, I can admit that I did have hold many meetings about many business endeavors, and it wasn't a done deal. So Giselle's like, well, why couldn't you have just said that last year? And Stacey says, because I don't owe you that, Giselle. And she's right. She's very much right. Now, hold on. I'm a big believer in moving in silence and not talking about things until things are done. So I don't blame Stacey for not sharing about the cannabis line. Could she have said, I'm working on some things and been coy? Sure. But when it comes to moving in silence, I'm not mad if you just, don't, if you low key lie and say, oh no, I'm not working on anything, because honestly and truthfully, people's energies and vibes can mess up your plans. And I'm a big believer in do not say a word until it's done. So I'm not mad at Stacey. And this group is so hateful. And Giselle is so full of it. Giselle, had she told you the truth at last year's reunion, you would have ate her up and talked about, oh, you're a copycat, you're this and that. So there's no winning. There's no winning. The thing is, you're pissed that Stacey gagged you and kept it quiet and then launched it on without telling you. That's all it is. You just wanted to know to tear her down, make her feel bad, talk down on her business before it even got off the ground. So I see right through you. And also Giselle, since when do we tell people who don't like us our dreams and desires? Because I know good and damn well I'm not telling an op my business plans, especially an enemy. And also, Giselle, we know that if it were the other way around, you would say, I don't owe you anything. I don't even talk to you. So it's just so funny how Giselle plays by a different set of rules. Is what she does is okay, but you have to follow her lead. Giselle knows that she would never tell anybody, especially an enemy, her best laid plans. So again, miss me with all that, oh, why couldn't you just say that? No. The same way you wouldn't say anything, she has every right to keep her mouth shut too. So I wasn't mad at Stacey. I wasn't. I was here for a move in silence, y'all. That's the best way to go. Keep your plans and your dreams and your desires and your hopes. Keep that close to the vest, honey. Everybody does not mean you well. So that's my PSA for the day. Yes, where's Giselle's makeup line? It's defunct. All right. So you say you're so sick of Giselle and her hypocrisy. Yes. Yes, exactly. On national TV. Yes. You don't even have a contract. Also, if she had one, it might have had a disclosure clause. Exactly. I wish Stacey would have just said, Giselle, mind your business and focus on every hue. I wish she wouldn't have lied. It just makes her look bad, even though I understand the reason. Yeah, she didn't owe them an answer. Exactly. So Giselle says, I said Stacey's coming in competition for Eddie, and you said absolutely not. Why couldn't you just say maybe or I'm thinking about it? Again, Stacey does not owe you an explanation, period. Stacey says, I absolutely didn't have a cannabis line when you asked me. That's why. So now Andy's asking Wendy if Stacey had pure intentions in naming her company a Nigerian word. Wendy says Stacey knew what she was doing. I think that was her way of getting back at Eddie and I for the whole TJ thing. So Stacey's like, oh, that's a very interesting thought, Wendy. Really? Giselle says, oh, you think she's that deep? And Wendy says, I think she is that smart. Now, Wendy, I took issue with this comment And it showed me how calculating you are, because for you to think that Stacey would do that to get back at you means that you would do that if the shoe were on the other foot. Also, you and Eddie don't own the cannabis industry. You don't own the Nigerian words for what somebody can name their business. And I don't like how you're trying to frame it as like her being a copycat or single Black female. Like you joked around a few episodes ago and you guys had that sit down lunch about her cannabis line. My thing is, somebody could low key say that you kind of not copied Deborah, but you took inspiration from Deborah, because Deborah's the one who came up with the whole Happy Eddie moniker, and you guys flipped that as you should have. You made lemons out of lemonade. You made lemonade out of lemons. But the same way you didn't think of Happy Eddie on your own, you got inspiration from Deborah with the whole Happy Eddie mess about, how Eddie was flirting with her and all that stuff. So I just kind of feel like, in my humble opinion, just let Stacey rock with her cannabis line. You guys all take inspiration from each other. Just my 2 cents. So now Andy goes on. Oh, Andy reads a viewer question for Giselle, Ashley, and Kiarna. And the viewer question's asking, none of Stacey's alleged lies are about them, so why are they so pressed? Stacey says, ding, ding, ding. Giselle says, let's be clear. We were shown this information. Did you not expect us to talk about it regarding TJ? Stacey says, I don't think you treated me fairly, especially being women who have been with men who have humiliated you both. You've been in my shoes. I said, Stacey girl, Stacey ate down. Stacey girl, babe, that was a quick read. That was a quick read. You both should know. You both have been with men who've humiliated you and cheated on you and done you dirty. That was a nasty, slick read. And she said that so smoothly and so calmly. And you saw how Giselle was talking over her when she said that, because Giselle hates being reminded about Pastor Holy Whore. So, babe, that was a quick read, honey. Stacey gave a quick work. I said, come through. You should know, Giselle and Ashley, you guys have both been embarrassed by men. I said, oh, Stacey ate down. Whether you like Stacey or not, Stacey did her big one with that. That was a quick. It was one of those reads where when she was saying it, Giselle was over talking her, so you had to rewind that and say, wait, did she say what I think she said? And she did say it. That was flawless. Okay, all right. So now, Ashley says, you're such a victim, babe. You have a victim complex. Stop. You're just such a victim. Giselle says, stop, girl, stop. TJ humiliated you. So now Ashley says, Stacey, girl, Stacey. And now Giselle says, the man got on and talked to Eddie. He said, you paid him. Then Ashley and I were in LA. We were at an event. We saw the paperwork that you paid him. We can't talk about that? No, that would not be authentic to the show. Giselle talking about being authentic. Giselle talking about what's authentic to the show. Giselle, you have not given us a real storyline since it got on the show. The first season, it was cute. We were getting to know y'all. But seasons 2 through now, you have given us zero. It has been concocted BS, conjuring up lies to destroy people's families and homes. Baby, there has been no storyline. You have said it yourself that you were only here for a paycheck. It's just entertainment. You don't give your real self to the camera. That's on camera, and you go home and wash it all off and don't think about it until the next scene. If that's authenticity, then I have some beachfront property in Iowa to sell you. I said, girl, the audacity and the gall to say that that's not authentic to the show when you don't give us any real life. You won't tell us who you're dating. We don't even know about your family life, your upbringing. We know none of that. The realest thing you ever gave us was when your father had the health challenges and the whole thing about the fighting over his will with his second wife. But besides that, we have gotten 95% of nonsense from you. the absolute gall, the unmitigated gall to say what's not authentic to this show when you've given us zero authenticity. I said, my God. I said, my God. Yeah, we just found out about her other siblings. We just found out that she's a brother and a sister. We found that out season 8. What was the season where she had the fibroids and she got the hysterectomy? Season 7 or 8, I believe. That's when we found out that she had a sister and a brother. I mean, we have gotten so little from her. So to hear her call somebody else about what's not authentic to the show is a real slap in the face. So just a mess, child. Y'all have me screaming in the chat. Okay, season 7, thank you. Yes, you're right, because that was the reunion where they were dressed in blue, and it was the last time that her and Candace were friends, because that was a season where the stuff hit the fan with Giselle accusing Chris Bassett of being inappropriate. Thank you for saying that. Yes, it was season 7. Thank you. Yes, it was season 7. That was when Candace went in on Giselle at the reunion. Yes. Yeah, we've only seen her mom once. We saw her mom in season 2 when she was fake dating that guy named Kevin, and then her mom was fake flirting with Kevin, and she was acting like she wanted him too. We saw her mom once, and that was it, honey. So, a mess, child. So now she goes on to say, we said it, you've denied it, and we can move the F on. So Kiana says, my issue is that she wasn't being truthful and wouldn't own it. Tia jumps in and says, Stacey, do you see from the other side? It cannot be that you're always the victim. You have to realize that things that you do make us react to you a certain way. You lied. So now Andy's like, Stacey, it's clear you have a road ahead of you. How do you plan on improving your relationships and regaining trust with the ladies in this group? So Stacey says, looking forward, looking ahead, I need to be more direct and say exactly how I feel instead of beating around the bush. She wants to work on that if there is a next season for her. So now her and Wendy do like a fingers crossed about coming back next season. Now, Stacey, you know good and well that you are one of Andy's favorites. Everybody loves you. You are not going anywhere, girl. You are not going anywhere. And Wendy, the way you were crossing your fingers, I said, yeah, you're crossing your fingers for a multitude of reasons. You're hoping that you are back on this show and that you have your freedom. Yeah, because, honey, it's a whole lot going on with you, child. I said, my God. But I know one thing. If nobody's spot is secured, Stacey's spot is secured. Period. End of story. Okay? All right. Yeah, you caught that, Flex. She was trying to be humble. She was. Stacey's hoping for a salary bump. Oh, she's going to get it because you get a salary bump when you do 3 seasons on the show. It's a significant increase. You go from making $68,500 to then making a cute $250,000. And then after that, the sky is the limit, honey. Now it's $500,000. Now it's $600,000. Now it's $700,000. Now it's $1 million, 1.5, 2 if you're lucky. But yeah, Stacey is going to get the salary bump that she desires for sure. For sure. So, no, Wendy's coming back. But here's the thing, though. The trial is in April. Potomac usually films in May. Their filming schedule is May through August. So are they going to bump up filming to catch Wendy on trial? If there is jail time for both her and Eddie, like, it's a lot up in the air. But I do think that, yes, if she comes back, it's going to be chronicling her ordeal in court. So, yeah, honey, she needs all the money she can get. Stacey is good TV, lies and all. They will keep Ashley to go at Wendy during her trial. I really hope not. Child, you said I believe they will. They will have to bump it up a little. You said they'll give Stacey they'll give it to Stacey to free up some money from Ashley's salary. The cameras will be up in April. Oh, child. So they might be filming from April to August now. We don't need Ashley for that. I agree. So I guess, child, they don't need Ashley for that. Giselle will do it. They're not getting rid of Ashley. Oh gosh. Oh, we have Indonesia in the chat. Oh, come on, I'm worldwide. Hey, how are you? What time is it there? Bravo's going to start early and get the footage. Karen will be back for that. We don't need Megamind. Giselle's probably earning 1 million a season or close to it. Yeah, if she's not earning 1 million, she's definitely close. She's definitely close to it. If she's not at 1 million, she's at the cusp. Because Shannon and Tamra already make 1 million from OC. Kenya was making 1 million before she did what she did last season. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, if you the 10 season girlies, they're seeing 1 million or close to it. Kyle is over 1 million. Kyle's been on 15 seasons straight. Yeah, so yeah, Giselle, if she's not at 1 million yet, she's right there. She's right there. So you said Giselle's paying 3 HBCU tuition. She'll be back, okay? Yes, honey. Honey, the good folks down at Bravo, they are giving Shannon 1 million. She gets 1 million for all the frantic, crazy behavior. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have London, Brazil. Oh, I love this. Australia's in the house. Yep, Candy was making 2 million. They gave Denise Richards 4 million. Yep. Lisa Rinna was making good money. So yeah, Kyle's probably earning 2 million. I could see that. I agree. Imagine 1 million and not sharing anything. 1 million to do absolutely nothing is crazy. I agree. Bravo has money to waste. Yes, honey, I am worldwide. I am worldwide. Oh, we have Norway in here. Not the perfect imitation of Shannon. I mean, Shannon is always so she's just always so frantic. It's terrible. So anyhow, so now we are closing out Stacey's segment, and Andy says, Stacey, just so you know, sometimes when a housewife is gassed up by the fans, it goes to their heads and it affects how they behave the next season. Are you afraid about that happening to you? Stacey says never. Now, I do believe that Stacey might be one of the few that keeps a level head and stays sweet and gracious. Hopefully, Lord willing, because I tell y'all, these housewives, I mean, they let this go to their heads immediately. Well, I mean, all the Bravo celebrities do. I was telling y'all about the Bravo celebrities on a certain show that was canceled due to very poor ratings, barely got off the ground. Their whole cast was acting like they were a top tier Bravo show. And it was just like, what are we doing here? How do you have a big head and your show is pulling in YouTube numbers? Let me be quiet, child. Oh, yup, cheap. You know it. You know exactly what show I'm talking about, child. You know exactly what cast I'm talking about. Yup, Queen Link. Y'all know exactly what show I'm talking about, baby. Honey. Listen, honey, you pulling up the same number of views that YouTubers get. Listen. I mean, my biggest video to date is 96,000 views. That was when Wendy got assaulted by Mia season 7. And their show was doing in the 97,000, 100,000, 200,000 max. So I'm just saying, 200,000 views, those are YouTube numbers. Those are my peers' numbers who have they have a bunch of subscribers. They have 20 times the subscribers that I do, and they can pull, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. So ciao. He said that's being generous. Ciao, people. I mean, they let this fame go to their heads, honey. Yes. Yes, honey. They sure did. They sure did. Okay, move on to the next thing, Claudia. Dorothy said, honey, just move on to the next thing before, yeah, honey, make these plates for these men, honey, okay? So now, They take a cute little 5-minute touch-up break. Ashley reveals that she got a vitamin D shot in her butt for some energy. Do we care? No. So now it is time for Angel segment. And Andy starts it off by asking Angel, where are her and Bobby currently living now? So Angel says back and forth from Colorado to Potomac, but we have purchased, they did purchase their Potomac home. So everybody starts clapping. Angel says we're currently undergoing renovations with the same home designer who did our Colorado home. We're super excited. Ashley, I don't know what you thought you were doing, but this did not give. This did not land. This did not eat. You sounded stupid. And Angel ate you up. And Angel, like I told you, you did your big one. And Angel applied the notes, honey. Angel was ready. Angel saw y'all's critiques about her being too long-winded, and Angel wrapped it up in a nice succinct bow, honey. She was getting everybody, and she was taking ownership for what she did, but I love the way she got Ashley together, and it was perfection. Yes, I was proud of Angel too. Same here. Angel says, oh, is your home in Potomac 30 acres? I said, oh, that her Colorado home had you real gagged, didn't it? Her Colorado home had you real envious. Because why would you think to say that? You're just so hateful, so jealous. So Angel says, no, it's a few acres, but if you actually lived in Potomac, you would know that there aren't any homes with 30 acres. I said, get her again. Get her for me. I said, exactly, Angel. Let him know, Greg, I'm the only one in Potomac. I have Potomac money, baby. You don't. You're somewhere all the way out in Virginia. Girl, don't ever. You could never. And shout out to Virginia, Alexandria, Arlington. Shout out to McLean. Shout out to all the Virginia girlies. Before y'all come for me and say, girl, don't do Virginia like that. Love all y'all down, okay? So shout out to the Virginia girlies. I'm just saying in this instance, when it comes to Miss Ashley, she's getting red for being in Virginia because the show is about Potomac ladies. But I digress, okay? All right. So Ashley says, well, I could have lived in Potomac, but I chose not to. Angel was like, sure, Jan. Really, girl? Ashley, God bless me for having a good memory, because I remember season 7 when you filed for divorce and you told the women that you were looking at homes, but you couldn't afford to live where you wanted to live, and you needed Michael's help. And Michael had to buy you the home through an LLC. Is your name even on the deed, girl? Let me know. Let all of us know. Babe, don't sit up here and act brand new. We all remember in season 7, you filed for divorce and you said you needed his help to move. And it was on Michael, what he wanted to spend and what he wanted to do. He was calling the shots because he had all the money. Your money was tied up. So Miss Smith, all that, oh yeah, I could have lived wherever I wanted to live. I could have lived there, but I didn't want to. That's a bold-faced lie, girl. That's a bold-faced lie. You just now finally touched some real money. You finally got your divorce settlement. And now you want to act like you always had it like that. We're not going to sit up here and play revisionist history today. I'm not going to do it, girl. I've been a day one watcher of Potomac. I remember when you told all of us that Michael had to buy you that house in Virginia because you did not have the money. And it was all based on what he wanted to spend and what he wanted to buy. And he was calling all the shots. Period. End of story. He didn't even want to buy you this house that you're in now. He wanted to buy you something cheaper and smaller. But you were in competition with Candace because Candace had bought her new house. So you wanted to outdo her. And you and Michael's hate for Candace, he bought you the house that you have now. But I remember, the North remembers, hun, you couldn't have bought whatever you wanted because Michael called all the shots. So, and Angel, I wish that you had been on the show during that time because you could have read her for that. Like, girl, that's not the truth, but I digress. But either way, Angel still ate you up and I was here for all of it. So that's that. So, okay, yeah, we all remember. We all remember, honey. Whack her again. Like Karen said, in that sweatbox in Virginia. Exactly. So, come on. You said all she's putting is Jack Harlow's. Listen, honey, having to live hand to mouth and pillar to post. You said her funds are insufficient. Exactly. Yeah. How has she been on the show 10 seasons, can't afford a decent house by herself? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows, child? So now, crocodile. Oh no! Y'all have me screaming. Not crocodile demon, honey. Was not going to pay for that. So anyhow, Andy goes on to ask if Tia helped Angel and Bobby with the sale of the house. Angel says no. Tia says, I didn't come on this show to look for clients. I came on to look for friends. Now, did anybody else feel like Tia was a bit salty about not selling that house to her and Bobby? And also, it's not lost on me that Tia threw shade at the beginning of the reunion by saying, oh yeah, I took a shower today and I had running hot water. Was that her way of getting back at Angel because Angel did not use her as her real estate agent? It is kind of, it sort of felt like there was some shade between that. Oh, I didn't come here for clients. I came here for friends. I don't know. Am I reaching? Is that a reach? Or we all see it too? Okay. You said she was probably salty. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, you said Tia wanted that commission. That would have been a nice check, honey. That would have been a very nice check. Okay, we all see it. We all see it. Isn't Tia supposed to come for money? Why is she dry begging? You said, nah, she was. Tia must have needed that commission bad, child. Tia is a weirdo. Everybody wants commission checks, okay? Tia is such a non-factor. Okay, Tia was in her feelings. Tia wanted that coin from Bobby. Okay. Okay. It's not a reach. Okay, thank you. So we see each other. She's too prim and proper to act out. So now, Giselle says she didn't come on the show to look for friends because you made that perfectly clear to Angel, mind you. Giselle, sometimes when Giselle speaks, does Giselle forget? Has Giselle just associated so much that she forgets that all of us watch the show and we've been here since day one? Like, Giselle says things like there aren't cameras showing us what's been done and said. For you to sit up here and try to get on Angel but not making friends, Giselle has not tried to make any friends on this show. Giselle has made it clear that she has alliances at best. Giselle is there to run the ship, steer the ship, and be in charge of the girls. She's made it clear that she is the OG. She's the head of this sorority, and they will fall in line. That's not wanting to be friends with anybody. So for you to sit up there and try to gaslight Angel for not being a girl's girl and not wanting to make friends, that's the biggest laugh because, girl, you have been so unfriendly to everybody. You are not friendly. To have friends, you must show yourself friendly. You have not shown yourself to be friendly to anybody. So I'm confused as to you trying to call out Angel for her not being friendly. I said, am I going crazy? Y'all don't know. There are so many times where they'll say something and I'll say, am I crazy? Am I unwell? Because I know I'm not hearing what I think I'm hearing right now. Because the audacity is like at an all-time high. Yes, she's not a friend to anybody. She doesn't have to try. The girls all defer to her anyway. Very true. You said, y'all have me screaming. Giselle couldn't say anything to me. I pay her dust. First lady trying to run her miserable ministries. I agree. Giselle's still a mean girl, sorority girl who won't ever get out of that mindset. I agree. Listen. Okay, so we're all on one accord. So anyhow, we get to Angel says, well, Giselle, I wasn't the one to have a key corner every 5 seconds. So of course, when you make a point to prove Giselle wrong, Giselle's like turning around, rolling her eyes. And I said, Giselle, that is so immature. Giselle just does not know how to be respectful. Angel's talking to you. Why are you doing this? And like, just look at her in the eye. Giselle has this attitude where she can say whatever she wants to you, but you can't say anything back to her. Angel's allowed to clap back and defend herself the same way you're allowed to antagonize and bully people and haze people and say what you want to them. Angel is correct. You want to call me out for not being a girl's girl and not want to make friends, but yet you've made my life living hell on this show for the last 3 or 4 months. What are we saying here? So now Giselle says, no, Angel goes on to say, when the whole eviction thing happened, it was Giselle, Wendy, and Ashley who met up to talk ish about me. There was a constant whiplash of, do I not belong in this group? Do I belong in this group? So now Wendy cuts in and says, how come you haven't checked Tia? Tia's the one who called Giselle in the first place and started this whole thing. Wendy, that might be true, but Miss Wendy, we're not going to sit up here and do that. Just own up to the fact that you, Giselle, and Ashley were all wrong, and it was mean girl behavior for you to be sitting up there keying and lying on her about being evicted. And Wendy, you know you were good and wrong making up that stupid story about your friends with a real estate agent who called you up and said that Angel wanted to pay $1,000 and make it look like she was spending $50,000. It wasn't even believable. Just own it and say, you know what, Angel, you're right. That was petty of us. I'm sorry. Just own it. Just own it. But now, why don't you have this smoke for Tia? Well, why don't you have the smoke for Mia? Mia bopped you upside the head on national TV and didn't apologize to you, and you were still playing patty cake with her. So the same way Angel has no smoke for Tia, the same way that you don't have smoke for Mia. So you guys are both even then. So I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I will never let it go because Wendy, you have me sitting up there in front of that camera, hollering and screaming about your assault. And for you to sit up there 3 episodes later and kowtow to her and play patty cake and be best friends, you know, I will never get over that. So please, I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Okay. I just don't. So, so anyhow, Tia jumps in and says, I did apologize to Angel before, but I do want to apologize again. Angel says, look, Tia and I already spoke about it. Regardless of how she delivered it to Giselle, it was not her place to tell Giselle anything about what was going on with me. So now Andy wants to talk about a viewer comment about how Bobby is the hottest Potomac husband. How does she feel about that? Now, was it just me, or did everybody's face look tight when Andy read that viewer comment about Bobby being the hottest husband? Their face looked tight. Ashley's face looked tight. Giselle was nervous laughing. Wendy's face looked, Wendy, your face looked, I mean, stone-faced, honey. You couldn't even fake a smile, not a chuckle. Wendy, babe, if looks could kill. Wendy looked so annoyed, like, I said, why can't y'all joke? Why can't we just joke? Like, babe, you, I said, this is the facial expression that you should have had in that mugshot. I mean, she looked pissed when Andy made that joke, read the comment about him being the hottest husband. Yeah, there's not that many husbands. Ashley knows Gollum could never. Well, yes, only 2 husbands to choose from. Wendy and Angel are the only ones. Yeah, right? Oh no, Wendy, Angel, and Tia are the only ones who have husbands. Stacey is divorced but dating her ex-husband again, so she's on a technicality, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, Tia, Wendy, Angel, and Stacey as an honorary mention because they're divorced, but they're dating each other now. So, okay. So now they're like, do you guys agree? They're all like, no. Wendy says, I love me some Eddie, honey. Like, no, my chocolate, like, she loves Eddie. I said, now, Wendy, what you were saying in that short clip the week after your arrest, it sounded like you might be jumping ship quickly if things go left. So I God bless. That's all I got. God bless. So she goes on to say she loves her chocolate. Stacey says, I love my white chocolate. Wendy's asking, what type of chocolate do you like, Andy? So Andy was like, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. They all like, oh my gosh, Andy, let me find out. So let me just spill a little bit of tea real quick. Andy was not lying about that. Andy loves some. I was at a party somewhat recently, within like the last year, and I met somebody who dated him. Yeah, and very handsome. So Andy was not lying. We follow each other still on Instagram. So Andy was not lying. He does like his chocolate. He does. I said Andy has very good taste. Andy has very good taste. So he was not lying, honey. Yeah, you seen the blind items, honey. So I said, okay. He loves him some chocolate. So so anyhow, so Andy's like, y'all making me blush. He says he's a man of taste. So now Andy points out how Kiarna and Angel have known each other for 20 years. And he says, Angel, I want to clear up the whole chin check debacle. It seemed like your tone about it changed from the shopping day to the Preakness event. So Angel says, well, I thought to myself, is it worth it to drag this thing out? And the answer is no. So now Wendy and Kiarna start talking at the same time. And things get a bit weird because there was so much smoke between Kiarna, Wendy, and they're both trying to talk and fight it out. It was just like, it was a lot going on. And I wanted Andy to say, can y'all be quiet and just one at a time, please, right? And Kiarna kept cutting Angel off, and it was really upsetting. I was like, Kiarna, can you let your friend speak, please? So Wendy says, do you understand how I felt a type of way about you changing your energy? Angel says, yes, I can. Wendy says, thank you. So Angel says, after watching it back, I could understand. And now Kiarna starts talking. So I just said, Kiarna, your friend is speaking. It's her segment right now. Why do you keep cutting her off? And then like Kiarna's energy in this first part was weird. And Kiarna, I don't know if you felt away because you were getting zero camera time. You barely said 2 words up until this point. So I don't know if it was that, but your energy was very off. It was off-putting. It was just weird. Yes, she was very rude. Yes, she did ruin the segment, very much so. So Wendy's like, what do you mean, Kiarna? She's answering the question. Keep going, Angel. Angel was talking. So now Kiarna's like, well, I'm talking right now. So Wendy whispers to Giselle. She's like, what kind of relationship is that? She controls her about Kiarna and Angel. So Kiarna says, look, Angel, I apologize to you for using that word. Angel says, yes, we've talked about it extensively. I know how she feels. Then Angel says, to your point, Wendy, watching it back, I could see how you felt like I was changing my energy to acquiesce. So Wendy says, thank you, Angel, for acknowledging my point. So now Andy brings up the whole catfish drama. So Andy's like, Giselle, what was your intention of bringing up the Photoshop? Giselle says, look, in the beginning of the season, there's usually new girls. I brought Tia along. I already knew her, but a blog site had posted the new girls in the group, and I texted production and I said, when am I going to meet this person? So they said to her, Giselle, stop being funny. That's Angel. So Angel's like, girl, stop being funny. She's like, oh, please, Giselle, you're being shady. So Andy's like, don't y'all all use FaceTime? Like, what's the problem? They all say yes. So now Giselle says, but it got weird because when we were in Nevis, Wendy now interrupts and says, who made the catfish comment? Giselle says, I made the catfish comment. So Wendy says, let's be clear. Who made the catfish comment? And Giselle says, again, I made the comment. Giselle says, I wasn't being shady about it. We laughed about it later. And the next morning we had a great moment, you and I. We talked about it again. And I thought it was over. But then you continue to talk about it for the rest of the season. Angel says, Giselle, it continued to be a joke for the rest of the season from you. It felt rude. It felt incredibly cruel, like you were trying to haze me. Giselle says it wasn't. So now Ashley says it wasn't that deep. Angel says, Ashley, please stop. Ashley, who are you to tell somebody what's deep and what's not? We all know that you live to attack people and tear people down. So of course it's not that deep to you. And the way that you and Giselle operate as this is just a paycheck, of course you feel that way. Now, let me say this. Giselle, 2 things can be true. Did Angel bring up the catfish comment a lot? She did. But you guys also facilitated in keeping it going as well. So we have to be honest here. You guys also kept up the whole catfish joke as well. It wasn't just Angel, it was all of y'all. You guys would not stop. Ashley would not stop. It was still episode 13, 14 when you guys were still talking about catfish. So let's not act like it was a one-sided thing where Angel kept going on and on about it. No, you guys kept up the nasty joke as well. So let's just call a thing a thing. Let's be honest here. So please, okay, we see each other, y'all. We see each other. Also, shout out to all of y'all who are super chatting. I really appreciate y'all. I will read your super chat. Just let me finish this and then I will spend the remainder of the live with the super chats. Is that okay? I'm trying to balance it out. I really hope, please, I promise you, I will read your super chat. I promise you, just bear with me. We are almost done. Okay, honey, but I got y'all. Don't think that for a minute that I'm ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. Let's get to the recap first and then we'll read the super chats later. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. Thank you for being so understanding, child. Yes, Ashley kept bringing it up long after. Exactly. So now, Angel says, I will say this. I came to Wendy. She says, do you want me to apologize or not? You want me to own it or not? So now Angel says, in the melee of everything that happened, all I heard was, ha, 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 catfish, and I apologize. So Wendy says, I hear you, but you were hellbent on saying that I said it. All I did was laugh. You came into this group with a plan. You came in saying that you saw Giselle as a big sister. You didn't want to have any smoke for Giselle, but you had all the smoke for me. Even when folks kept telling you that it wasn't Wendy who said it, you still did not redirect your energy. Now, Wendy, and Wendy's people, y'all better hear me good. I'm not mincing my words. I'm going to say it just like I feel it. It is what it is, whatever. Wendy, you pissed me off right here. You pissed me off yet again. I'm sorry, Wendy. Angel has owned up that she was wrong. She heard wrong. She thought you said it. She realized that she was wrong. She watched the episodes back and she's apologizing to you. What more do you want? Take the apology. I'm sorry for you to say that, oh, you have more smoke for me. She apologized to you and you say, oh, but you still have more smoke for me. Girl, accept the apology or don't accept it. And also, Wendy, how dare you? How dare you? You have more smoke for Angel than you did for Mia. Mia bopped you upside the head. Are we forgetting that? Are we forgetting that? It's almost like that assault never happened. We didn't see 1/10 of this energy for Mia when she did what she did to you. So I'm sorry, miss me with all this. Oh, you still want to be mad at Angel. She's apologizing to you. Mia never gave you an apology. Mia did what she did and said, F you, girl, I would do it again. And you sat there crying at that reunion. And they all laughed at you. And you still sat up there, ran behind to be her friend for seasons 8 and 9. But now you want to hold on to this one thing about Angel? She apologized, for goodness sake. What more do you need? I don't like that. And for you to say that, you have more smoke for me than her, well, the same could be said about you too. You've had more smoke for other people than for folks who have assaulted you. So let's not, Wendy. I don't like this revisionist history. Wendy is forgetting what happened to her when she came on this show. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I don't understand it. Somebody's offering you an apology. They're taking full ownership and you want to find a way to be mad, but you're over here accepting folks who assaulted you and laughed at you and did never give you an apology. So that's okay. But somebody's saying, girl, I'm very sorry. Please accept my apology. And you still can't take it. Like, what's going on? Child, I was so over it. Thank you. Giselle even said, Giselle said out of her mouth at the season 7 reunion, when Andy said to Giselle, he said, Giselle, you are notoriously outspoken about violence on this show. How did you feel when Wendy got bopped upside her head and Giselle said out her own mouth, I don't care because I don't like Wendy. And I'm glad that it happened to her. And Wendy was sitting up there crying. So you don't have any smoke for that. So when Giselle gave you a raggedy half-ass apology that we never got to see on camera, that you accepted that just fine. Angel's coming to you contrite, sincere, saying, girl, I'm sorry, I messed up, I heard wrong, please accept my apology, and you won't take it? What are we talking about here? What happened between Angel and Wendy is apples and oranges. This is light work. This is light shade. If you can get over somebody assaulting you and folks laughing and recording your assault, you can get over whatever Angel said about you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So please, I'm tired. I'm really tired of it. I'm tired of her trying to play hardball with people who are, sincere, but yet giving passes to people who can't stand her and hate her guts and are using her so that they don't look a certain way. I'm tired of it. Yes. Wait. No. Thank you. Thank you for saying this. No. Let's really get into it. I know, honey. I have all the time in the world. We can be here until 10 p.m. for all I care. I have all the time in the world today. It was a known thing. Season 8, when NECA joined the show, Giselle and Robin made it clear that their plan that season was to ice Wendy out. Wendy could barely film a group scene. Giselle said multiple times, I don't want her filming. I don't feel comfortable with her in this group. Both of the cast trips were a flop that season because Giselle did not want to film a scene with them. You can forgive somebody trying to ice you out and mess up your bag and mess up your check, but you can't forgive Angel. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. It makes no sense. I will never sit up here. I'm not going to do this with Wendy. I'm not. Wendy, you look crazy. There's just no other way around that. I don't know why you want to be so angry at Angel when you have accepted horrible, horrific treatment. They treated you like you weren't like you were an animal. They treated you so poorly. They treated you like you were nothing, like you were the gum on the bottom of their shoe. Robin sat up there and recorded you while you were crying in Miami because Mia went upside your head and threw water in your face. And you sobbed all by yourself. Nobody checked on you. And you forgave that, but you can't forgive Angel. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. It's not making sense to me. And if I'm crazy, if I'm not getting it, then please let me know. But remember, I'm a day one watcher and I have a good memory. And I remember what happened. So I'm very clear. Let's be clear, like how Karen always says. But I'm not going to sit up here and let Wendy play in my face like I'm crazy. Accept the apology. You've accepted worse with no apology. You can get over what Angel did. I'm sick of it. Thank you all for validating that I'm not crazy. Yes, go back and watch it. It was a season 7, either reunion part 2 or part 3. When Andy gets to that horrible assault that Mia did to Wendy, Andy goes around and asks all of them how they felt when they watched Wendy sit there and be assaulted. And Giselle said out of her mouth, I don't like Wendy, and therefore I don't give a damn that Mia did what she did to her. And Andy just moved on, and that was it. And Wendy sat there crying, a hot mess. And she forgave that. So, please. So now, Andy reads a viewer question regarding what did Angel mean about Wendy having asshole lips and Forest Whitaker eyes. Angel says, look, I was very harsh. I was referring to a facial expression that he makes, that Wendy also makes. Sometimes when you're fanatical about something, sometimes when you're skeptical about something, you go like this. So she starts flickering her eye the same way that Forest Whitaker does, right? So I know, you guys know I interviewed Angel in November. I asked her about that. A lot of people felt like it was colorist, a very colorist vibe when she said that. I told y'all my opinion. I did not believe that came from a colorist viewpoint. I don't think Angel's colorist at all. If I thought it, I would have said it. And a lot of us went back and forth. Quite a few of us went back and forth that day. Okay, because a lot of y'all were upset with me, and we had to tussle just a little bit, right? And Jameer was on the ones and twos and had to kick some of y'all out because some of y'all got real crazy that day. Y'all remember what episode that was, but I digress. But I still maintain that that was not from a colorist place. It was a joke that just should not have been said, especially on national television, right? It was a joke in poor taste. That's what it is. People say stupid things sometimes, but I didn't think that it was coming from a colorist viewpoint. All right. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, honey. Oh, honey, they jumped out the window. Honey, we have 50 trolls. And babe, do you remember that day? It was me. It was about 1,000 people in the chat. And then 50 folks came out and jumped out the window, honey. It was me. It was a 50v1. I said, my God. And Jameer was the only moderator in the chat that day. It was a hot mess. Like, I said, y'all will not sit up here. Honey, Wendy paid those bots good, honey. They were ready, honey. They were ready. Some longtime subscribers jumped out the window. I said, not you, girl. I said, you've been here since 2021 talking to me like I'm a dog. A mess. Honey, people showed their true colors that day. A mess, honey. A mess. Yes, honey. Listen. So I don't think it was a joke. She shaded Wendy. Fair. Yes, she did. It was shade. So, okay, so you think it's colorist? Listen, y'all. Listen, we are all alike. Okay, you think it was colorist? Okay, cool. Listen, y'all. I'm not here to tell people how to feel. I'm not here to, I'm not here to go back and forth. I'm just telling you what I thought. I still feel that way. Let's just move on to the next thing, Claudia. Okay, Dorothy, where you? Thank you, Chief. Dorothy, where you at? Yeah, I'm not gonna. So, Dorothy said it was colorist and she was wrong. Okay, Dorothy, I'm here. I am calling on you to tell me move on to the next thing, and you sit up here, child. Let's just move on to the next thing, child. Let's move on to the next thing. We can all agree to disagree. So. You said comparing Black women to men is a no. I'm sorry. No, and that's fair. Yeah, honey. Big Dot said, baby, listen, honey. Dorothy said, let me get this little lick in before I tell you move on to the next thing, honey. Wait, Dorothy, Dorothy tapped me on the wrist and said, no, girl, I disagree. Move on to the next thing. Yes, so we can have our differences, okay? All right, y'all. Let's just go on, child. Let's just move on. Baby, wait, Dorothy grabbed the mic. Wait! Dorothy grabbed the mic and said, hold on now. Oh, Dorothy, it is all love. Now, this is how we disagree. Now, this is how you disagree with somebody, because the way y'all tried me 3 months ago that was unacceptable. But honey, this is how you do it. This is how you voice your differences without being crazy. So I was here for her. Yes, honey. Dorothy said she don't care, honey. So, all right, child. Yes, honey. Dorothy said, no, hold on, sis. Okay, and did, honey. Dorothy said, don't let me hold you. Dorothy held your hand like Iala, honey. Yes, honey. Miss Dot said, wait a minute, glasses. Yes, honey. Dorothy said, I got to speak my truth, girl. I got to speak my truth. And that's fine, honey. Let's move on to the next thing. Claudia. Okay. Yes, honey. We have taken the capes off and enjoying the show for what it is. Exactly. Listen, y'all. The days of me. Wait, what happened? The days of me getting all crazy and being so invested in these shows are over. What have you calling Jameer a troll in here? We have a troll. If we have a troll, child, just kick him out. So, all right, child, let's move on. Honey. Before we start, we go from joking to things going off the rails and we all fighting again. Yes, honey. Come on, Dorothy. Dorothy said, move along, Claudia. So, okay, no, I thought, because I saw somebody call Jameer's name. So I thought they were saying like, Jameer, come get somebody out. So, but no, no trolls. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you, Jameer. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's move on, child. Let's move on. Yes, honey. Oh, yeah, honey. Where these men's plates at? Okay. Yes, honey. We move past that. No, seriously, I'm no longer going crazy. It is what it is. And may I tell you something? Half of these women, this goes for all the franchises. Half of these women are in cahoots with each other, and they are all slapping five and playing patty cake behind the scenes. And it's all a ruse to get us worked up, and they keep their jobs. Okay, so the days of me being, leading the charge and talking about this and that, and popping popping a vein over this, and it's all entertainment. I can't be more upset than they are about it. So, all right, ciao. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, honey. So I'm not getting worked up over anything. Exactly. And knocking each other's pocketbooks. Wait, what'd you say? Out of whack. Yes, Ashley, Stewie, and Gizzard are not worth it. Okay, yes, it's energy harvesting. Yes. Okay, y'all. So y'all have a screen. So, all right, here we go. Now listen, let's watch the tone. I don't know who you cursing at, but let's watch. I gave my opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm not fighting with anybody. If you want to engage, feel free. If you want to leave, feel free. I'm not mad at you, but I'm not doing all this today. So, and now you're out, and now you're blocked. So, thank you, Jameer, because I clicked on them and I saw you had already gotten them out. Thank you, Jameer. So, yeah, honey, talk about some cursing at me. Like, are you crazy? You're not cursing at anybody over here. So you damn sure not cursing at me on my channel. So I'm not doing it, honey. Yes, honey, same energy as the third time. Yes, honey. Oh, they're getting real spicy. And I never seen them before either. That was my first time even seeing them. So, honey. Yes, honey. You said Jameer's rules, Brooke's house. Yes, honey. So listen, honey, I'm not even doing that. So you said no home training. People are nuts. People are sitting here going crazy. Yes, honey, this is Jesus' house, honey. The house that the Lord built, honey. So please. You said, bye, Nubian peace. Be with your faith. Oh, yes, honey. You almost turned into Layla Ali. What do you mean, the F? Okay. Yes, honey. Yeah, honey. Yeah. Well, if you would like to be a mod, now, no, hold on. Dorothy, are you interested in being a mod? Because, Dorothy, do you want to be a mod? Let me know. But I'm saying, though, if you're going to be a mod, you have to be really, like, quick with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your eyes peeled. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. Oh my gosh. Wendy has her people lurking in the chat. Okay. Wendy must have had a few dollars left on her card. Oh gosh, honey. Dorothy about to get a promotion, honey. Well, just let me know. My ADHD won't allow me to be a mod. Not Dorothy getting a job offer. You said, okay, you need more mods. I volunteer as tribute. Okay, well, let me know in the comments. If you leave a comment, it will let me just add you as a moderator immediately, versus if you email me and I have to search your name, it takes a longer time. But if you leave a comment, say, oh, Brooke, I'd like to be a mod, I can just add you as a moderator. In the next live, you'll be a moderator. But y'all, please take it seriously, because I actually have 8 moderators and 4 of them are MIA. So they asked me, people asked and asked and asked, and I finally made them a moderator, and now they're nowhere to be found. I'm like, oh, did you unsubscribe? You don't watch me anymore? Like, I don't know. So if you want to be one, please be serious. You know, I could use another 2 or 3, but who knows, child. So Listen, they could be undercover agents. Oh, yeah, that's true. So, okay, yes, had to be serious about it. Yes, okay, you want to be one biomiss? Well, I guess just send a just put a comment down. Is this the altar call? Jameer said, yeah, honey, Jameer and Ayana, last one standing. Yeah, I have eight. And the Dime 10 Diva, they come on when they have time. So I only see the 3 mods, but yeah, the other 5, they've gone on vacation or something. So yes, honey. So yeah, I play in the chat too much to be an effective mod. Yeah, you said you only ever see 2. You only ever see Jameer and Ayana. Hold it down. Yes. You said you stayed in the clouds, but you've asked before. I don't remember you asking. But if you have, I would say leave a comment and I can add you as a moderator. I'm a sniper from the cloud. They use their PTO. They use their, what is it, the FMLA, the family leave or something. They're on retirement. They can't be bothered. So the other 6 are on sabbatical. Oh my gosh. Oh, you sent an email. Okay. Well, you know what? Just leave a comment and I can just add you that way. Yeah, honey, they put in their pink slips, honey. They quit. Y'all have me screaming. Honey, you said, okay, you can do it. Okay, I'd appreciate that. You said, honey, they said, child, they said they want their 6-figure salary and vacation days and benefits, honey. They said they want their health care, vision, and dental, honey. They said, honey, can you do that for us? And they said, well, child, I'll go on to greener pastures. So, all right. They must be church hurt. Maybe they work 9 to 10 a.m. Jameer can comment, throw shade, and block people. Yeah, honey, he does it all at the same time. They need hazard pay for this job. I wonder what lie made them say this is not the job for me. I don't know either. Oh my God. They got time making those plates for these men. Okay. Oh gosh, y'all have me screaming. Oh, thank you guys. All right, y'all, let's get back on. Yeah, honey, they want 28,000 up front. Now hold on. You do know I got the wildest email from a subscriber like 6 months ago. And they were like, do you need an assistant? And if so, I need you to pay me $95,000 and I only want to work Monday through Thursday, 10 to 3. And you know, I need to start the job immediately. And I was like, who are you? Like, what is going on? And I kid you not, I emailed her back and I said, Godspeed. Because I was like, who, what? No, hello, no, hi, how are you? It was just like, I would like to be your assistant. Do you need one? I want to make this. It was the funniest thing. Wendy's looking for a part-time job. No, this person was one of y'all said she must have been young. No, this person was older. Yeah, and this is a subscriber that I've seen a lot, and you guys have seen them too. And I was like, and I just said, you know, I could not stop. I when I tell you, I must have laughed for a good 2 hours. I could not stop. I was in tears from laughing so hard. I was in tears from laughing so hard. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Maybe that's why she said you're mean. You rejected her job offer. I could not stop laughing. Too much wine before heading sent. Oh my gosh. I could not stop laughing. I was just like, okay, like, is everybody okay? Like, and I was like, don't you think that I would say if I needed an assistant, I would put it on Indeed? I wouldn't, you don't need to email me. I would put something up if I need, like when the day comes, they're like, this gets even bigger and I do need like more help, yeah, I would put out an ad on like Indeed or jobs.com or LinkedIn or something. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't need somebody emailing me demanding a job. And it's like, are you okay? Like, are you all right? Like, are you okay? It was the funniest thing. Yeah, it was. She was begging and demanding at the same time. It was bizarre. I was just like, okay, yeah, that sounded like a ransom note. It was just like, yeah, it would be like, I put it on ZipRecruit. Yes, honey, choosy beggars. She says she indeed need this job. And there was no hello, no hi, how are you? Are you looking? It was like, I need this. You better do this. I want this, that. I know yeah, it was straight to junk mail. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. She said, let me open up this glass door. She said, can I look in your bag? Honey, she said, yeah, I was floored. Honey, I guess, yeah. It was giving, there's a joke that I want to make, but I don't know if it'll be received well. So I'm gonna leave it alone. But I could not stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. Yes, honey. She said she's gonna get straight to the point and demand you hire her for a job. Maybe it was Clarissa Shields, honey. A threatening resume. Yes. Does this person know how an assistant works? Act like they're the boss. Yes. Straight to junk mail. What was her name? Pam Oliver. Yes, she was looking all up and through your purse. It was giving that. It was giving very much like clocking, like, oh, okay, like I see you doing your thing, and you better give me this. It was like, wait, I don't even. How do we get here? So, oh gosh, yeah. Didn't start with a hi, Brooke. Hello, how are you? Yes, honey. It was her third time asking. That sounds like that woman that went to Pakistan demanding $20,000 in land. Mama said rent was due. She knows her worth. When did that ever work for her before? Oh my gosh, you guys had me screaming, honey. Yes, that's what it gave. It gave very much like pocket watching. So let me like it was very it was weird. It was weird. Yes, honey. Get out of here. Get out of here today. I am yelling so hard, honey. She said, bill collectors at her door. What can you do for me? Yes. It gave very much that. It gave very much that. I didn't want to sound, you know what I'm saying? But yes, that was what popped in my mind. Like, oh my, like that popped in my mind immediately. Because I was like, wait, what? It was just bizarre. So, child. She said, I'm gonna need this watch though. She did. And when I tell you, I've been holding on to this for a long time. I was floored. I said, I was like, when I tell the live one day about this happening, they're gonna scream. So, okay. I am yelling so much. She had her own W-2 already filled out on her desktop. She went to Social Blade and she went to Social Blade and estimated her salary from that. We only want Jameer. They want you to put them on the Amex. I haven't seen them. In a while, so I don't know. She might be. I actually don't know. But I was surprised. I mean, she did not say hello. There was no hello, hi, how are you? How you doing? How you feeling? I love your content. I've been watching you for a while. It was like, listen, I need, do you need an assistant? I want to be your assistant. I want 95, and that's the least I want. I want more than that. Actually 105 and, and add an extra 28,000. I mean, it was like, I haven't seen her in a while. Maybe she got a job. Yes, it was giving. Yes, honey. She said, no time for small talk. Yes, honey. Let's get down to business, honey. That's what she said. It was, she said, I'm in a bind, child. She did, honey. She saw dollar signs in her eyes. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes, honey. She said, I don't have time for the games. Just take it or leave it. This is my offer. Oh my gosh, you have me scream. She probably worked for Jen Shaw. Big mama, no kids. She said no. Yes. She said no. Moving on, honey. She said, child, she's probably out there talking about me like a dog. He's probably saying that bitch. Yes, no, it does. A dream and a job, honey. Brooke, are you hiring? It was probably time building up his funds, child. What happened to customer service? I wonder how many other YouTubers she sent that to. I wonder too. She said, this is my final offer. You're on her vision board. Oh, Lord, have mercy. She's probably the big troll now. You don't see her, but she sees you. Oh my gosh, y'all better get out of here, please. How do we get on this? Oh my gosh, yeah, I apologize for going off on a tangent. I hope you enjoyed that short story. Oh no. Not a final offer, her final demand. Yes, honey, she shot her shot. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. Jameer, please. Jameer, you have me screaming. This is gonna be my last time telling you take it or leave it. Everybody's so creative. Oh, she was probably in her prayer closet manifesting. Oh gosh, y'all have me screaming. I hope she's thriving now, honey. I hope so too. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lord have mercy. You guys have me screaming, please. Ooh. So anyhow, let's get back on track, y'all. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. No, and that was the funniest part of it all. There was no resume attached. That was the worst part about it. So she did all this demanding, like it was a stick up, and there was no resume. So a mess. Oh gosh. Imagine they follow up after seeing this. Well, what are they going to say? I saw you were talking about me. Well, they don't know. You guys don't know who it was. I didn't say her name. And, you know, and she shouldn't have sent an email like that. You don't send an email to anybody saying, give me a job. You better pay me this. You better do that. And I only want to work 2 hours. You don't know hello, no greeting, no sense, no resume. So she's the one in the wrong. So, and I'm allowed to tell my story. It happened to me. So she'll be okay. And if you're watching this, you better not think to send me any email because you will be embarrassed. And I actually might post it up in the next live. So she better not. If she's smart, she'll keep her mouth shut and act like she never did this. So yeah, honey, listen, honey, I attract some people, don't I? Lord, honey, nuts, all of them. So, child. Ooh, you said she reported you to HR right now. Give me 28,000. She's gonna come back in 3 months talking about, girl, are you hiring me or not? Yeah, honey. Oh gosh, she won't say hello. Lord have mercy. Oh gosh. Okay, y'all. So anyhow, Wendy says, you've talked about how you don't like people talking about your aesthetic. So for you to talk about my physical aesthetic, I think is wrong. And I do think it cuts deeper. Wendy, I get that. What Angel said was rude. It was nasty. It was shady, right? It was uncalled for. I will say that it's not lost on me that you guys do make fun of Stacey having a flat behind and no hips. So could that be taken as making fun of an aesthetic? Like if we're gonna be fair, let's be fair across the board, right? Then that means none of y'all should be talking about anybody's body, hair, nothing, right? It's just now lost on me that y'all kept talking about how flat her behind was and how narrow her hips were in that finale episode. So I was just like, I understand you being upset with Angel, but let's also do the same. Let's also be courteous of other people and their bodies, right? So, okay. She goes on to say, if I called you James Earl Jones, would that be wrong? So Giselle starts laughing. Andy says, not James Earl Jones. Stacey says, God rest his soul. The first thing that I thought about was that interview that I was telling you about that he did that was disparaging Black women and how he was saying some really problematic things. Remember how we did that live about, let's just move on, child. But I said, yes, honey, God bless. But the James Earl Jones read didn't land for me. Angel is a beautiful woman. Wendy's a beautiful woman. So that's all I've got too. All right. Anyhow, wait, where did I? Oh, Angel says, I do apologize for saying that because that's not who I am. Either you accept it or you don't. And again, that's my thing too. It's like, I'm not going to keep begging you to accept the apology. Either you're going to accept it or you're not. If you could accept Mia and she never apologized to you for assaulting you on national TV, I think that you can accept Angel's apology. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Let's just move on. Okay? So Angel says, Andy reads a viewer question for Kiana and Angel asking, looking back on it, can you understand why some of the internet refers to you as sadness and madness? So Angel says, well, I think that we're a joy and a pleasure to be around. Giselle says, that's not what the fans say. I said, Giselle, let's not talk about what the fans say because the fans have a lot of smoke for you and Ashley. We've said a lot about your nasty attitudes and how you guys don't have a storyline. But and Giselle has famously said throughout the years that she pays no attention to what the fans say about her if it's negative. So now all of a sudden you pay attention to what is being said from the fans when it comes to somebody else. It's just interesting to me because you always say, you have said it repeatedly that you don't care what we say about you. So thank you, Ayana. When does Giselle care about the fans? Exactly. Now, Kiana and Angel, respectfully, you guys did appear very sad in the first half of this season. Like that, it just is what it is. I don't know if it was a bad edit, but you guys did come across as a sob story every chance. So it is what it is. Let's just move on. So Giselle said, so now Kiana says, looking back on it, I did seem upset, but 85% of the group I do get along with very well. So now Andy brings up Ashley bringing the catfish to the Ponies and Potomac event. And we see the flashback of Wendy calling it out on the mic several times that Ashley brought the catfish. Ashley says, it wasn't that deep. If somebody called me a catfish, I'd be like, so what? So Angel says, but you knew that it bothered me and you were being nasty and petty. Ashley says, it was funny. Learn to laugh. It's good for the soul. I can't stand the way Ashley is so dismissive of other people's feelings. I mean, that woman has no regard for how she makes people feel. I can't stand it. So Angel says, well, I think that you need to learn to laugh at yourself because you've done a lot of things that have been embarrassing this season. So now Andy says, well, Ashley, I have to say, I did get a stack of questions about how messy you are. So Ashley says, let the good times roll in French. And now he reads a viewer comment saying, usually, Ashley, we love your messiness. I said, who's we? I said, not me. But this season, you are mean and downright nasty at times. So Ashley plays dumb and she's like, wait, to who? Who was I mean to? So she says, can we elaborate? So Angel says, to me, to Stacey, to Wendy, after what happened to her, after her jail situation, the Zen went in the pen. Andy's like, do you regret saying that? So Ashley says, I've apologized for that. When I saw Wendy's mugshot, she was smiling. I thought she was literally laughing in the picture. I'm like, this is not real. I made a joke. It felt like a joke. Then she says, Wendy, you've made jokes about people in this group. Wendy says, not about anybody who's been locked up. Even when Karen was locked up, I never made a joke about that. So Ashley says, again, I did not know the severity of your situation. And Wendy says, I think I would believe that, but I got additional information that says it wasn't about you looking at my mugshot. It was a hidden vendetta that you've always had against me. Now, it's no secret that Ashley did not care for Wendy, right? Like, if you've been watching since the time Wendy came on the show, Ashley never saw it for Wendy. They never did. So Ashley says, it wasn't a hidden vendetta. Let's get that straight. When you first came into this group, you came with this air of looking down on people like you were better than everybody in this group. So Wendy says, how you view me has nothing to do with me and everything to do with yourself. Ashley says, but I don't vilify my accomplishments. Wendy says, because you don't have any. Ashley's like, that's BS, bitch. So Wendy says, if you had some, then you probably would. So I said, all right, now, Wendy, you got her, you whacked her real good with that whole, you don't have any accomplishments, because again, what has she accomplished? I'll wait. You got that, but I'm not going to hold you. It pains me to say what I'm about to say, but I cannot lie, and I'm not going to act like if this weren't somebody else saying this, we wouldn't be gagged. Ashley ate, I don't want to say she ate down, but she ate a little something right here. Ashley says, well, I have one social security number. Everybody's like, Andy was just like, damn. We see Wendy's face looking cracked. She was hurt by that. And that's where the part 1 reunion ends. Again, yes, Ashley got one with that SSI card. Ashley dropped the mic. She nibbled just a bit. She ate a little Lunchable. She chewed just a bit. She did her big one. You said, I disagree, Brooke, not really, but we can agree to disagree, just a nibble. That was weak to me. She ate just the least little bit. A tiny chew. I think Wendy ate her back. Ain't no way. Ashley, come get your tent chain. Ashley ate Wendy up. You said, I'll give it to Ashley. She got that one. Ashley's 3 was not that good to me. 8, I fear. I got to give her a 7. I'll never give her 10s, but I will give her 7s. I will give Ashley her 7s. I'll give her 7s. They'll let me call Candace. I'm screaming. Ashley's mouth is lethal. We should have seen that coming. I think that Ashley goes for low blows and cheap shots. She's no wordsmith, right? She's nobody's reader. Excuse me. She's nobody's reader. But in that moment, she did a little something. It was a weak nibble. Ashley gets 5s. She nibbled. That was cute. Still don't want her back. Oh, yeah, I don't want her back either. Be very clear. Yes, one good read after 10 years of nothing. Yes, honey, finally had a line after 10 years. I'm not going to give her that. Bye, Ashley. Sort of, kind of. She practiced that one. It didn't move me at all. I got to hear Nene say it. Y'all have me screaming, honey. Ashley's mouth is gutters. Yeah, she's not witty at all. It's not even lethal in a good way. It's straight up evil. Ashley, yeah, wait, hold on. Be clear. I do not want Ashley back at all. You said that was weak, Brooke. A broken clock is right twice a day. Now, listen, here's my thing. If it were the reverse, if Wendy had said that to Ashley or Karen had said that to Ashley or whatever, do you think you would still think it was weak? I'm not going to hold you. It chewed just a bit. It chewed. I'm never too big to say that, she chewed. She had a snack. She licked the rims off a toilet bowl. Ashley's the same one who was screaming that Candace was the least accomplished one. Yes, she sure was. She sure was. She was big mad. And now trying to morph into Candace Jr. The lady's reaction showed that she chewed. Change the title of this live to give Ashley her 7s. I'm screaming. Child. She definitely has, some left. Yeah, Ashley got her 2s, honey. I don't think Wendy would have gone there. Yes, it would still be weak because the prosecutor lied. There were no fraudulent cards or social security numbers. Wendy's an easy target right now, though. Her rehearsed read landed. The physical pain from giving Ashley her 5s is strong. Ashley had her gotcha moment. She had a snack, a little Ritz cracker. Carlos King can kiss my behind if... That's why we need Candace back. She chewed based on evidence she hasn't seen yet. You said Ashley ripped with that. Can I be honest? In a way, it kind of chewed, but at the same time, and I feel like I might come off rude and crazy, but don't we all have a social security number when we're born? Yeah, I think she's saying that it was a read saying that I have, my original social security number and you have multiple SSNs because you out here doing fraud. That's what she was trying to say. Yes, Wendy's all the way down. It's an easy shot. Wait, what happened? What did I miss? Wendy, you making me agreeing with Ashley. You said Ashley is alluding to the fraud. Pack it up, Ashley. Wendy didn't see her own potential. She was a good mom, had a cool relationship with an actual husband, and had her career. The others couldn't say that. Now she looks crazy. I agree. Wait, what happened? The prosecution didn't lie. They said they had multiple credit cards. They never said anything about fake social security numbers. They have not been charged with identity theft. Okay. Yes, to dig up Wendy's multiple aliases. Exactly. I feel like Wendy will back her back. I think so. I think so. She's intimating that Wendy had multiple SSN numbers. Yep. Which is low down. She got her wow, from living in her tent. In my opinion, Ashley tried to eat. We don't want Ashley no more, okay? At no capacity. Ashley will always hit low. Ashley ordered from the menu, but she's still waiting on her plate. Child, there were no good reads. We need Karen and Candace back. Fraud versus predator. Wow. Let's talk about Michael. Just about lost everything in a real estate. Wait, what? When did this happen? Child. Technically, Wendy has one social security number. Now, Pam, on the other hand, Jesus. They want us to believe Ashley gagged Wendy, but I know Wendy fought back. Everybody's super silly in this chat, honey. Everybody is super silly in this chat. Ashley, go rub Michael's feet. That was a cute little yin around the house. She can still exit though, okay? Now, y'all, let me read these super chats, child, okay? Wait, where are we? Okay. Hey, High Vibe. Thank you for the super chat. This was so fake. I question how a lawyer commits a crime without knowing all the possible outcomes as far as jail time. She doesn't look or act concerned. Ciao. Hey, Bio Miss Flores. Thank you for the super chat. Wendy says, screw for better or for worse. I want to live. Ciao. Y'all are so silly. Hey, Allie. Thank you for the super chat. I want to be a fly on the wall at Eddie's parents' house. His mom is probably in full I told you so mode. Oh, you know it. You know they are. Hey, the life of Samad. Thank you for the super chat. Everybody is God's baby when they in trouble. That's very true. No, it's very true. It's very true, honey. Hey, Bio Miss Flores. Thank you for the super chat. Teresa tried to say the same thing with her case. No, ma'am, you're on the insurance claim and the fake robbery. You're involved. Yes. Hey, Janice Marshall. Thank you for the super chat. Kempire even said Tia flopped. Okay, so yeah, we all see it. Shout out to Kempire. Shout out to Kempire. We are all on the same page. Hey, Monica Dennis. Thank you for the super chat. Wendy was saying that her son didn't want his aunt and grandma to know what he knew, what happened to his parents. He wasn't shielding them from the news. Oh, she was saying he didn't want. Okay. Got it. Thank you for, because I was confused by that. I was just like, wait, what? Like, they obviously know. Okay, well, that makes sense. Thank you, Monica. Hey, Darkshow99, thank you for the super chat. Ashley sold a case each season. There is something so rotten within her that just stenches the atmosphere. Child, listen, this needs to be her last season. Hey, M Love Black, thank you for the super chat. Ashley is a freaked out tent dweller. Ooh. Jesus. Oh, y'all are in rare form today. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this super chat? I am yelling. Oh my gosh. She literally had to birth her residual income. My God. She needs to work on that evading. Jesus. Oh. Y'all are. I am speechless. M Love, come to the front. M Love, come to the front. Candace, is that you? My God, honey, that was nasty. Oh, Jesus. Now that's a read, okay? That is a read, honey. My God. Oh, M Love. Oh. Hey, Darkchild99, thank you for the super chat. Tia saying Stacey married up was complete self-hating ignorance. Correct me if I misinterpreted what she said, but I was like, what the F did she just say? Child, I know what you're trying to say, but we are in mixed company and we're veering into kitchen table talk. If I say what I want to say about what Tia said, we have to talk about that offline. But yes, that whole argument was a fool. Hey, Veronica Elizabeth, thank you for the super chat. Tia acts like a friend of she's Giselle's pet. Yes. Hey, Bio Miss Flores, thank you for the super chat. Actually, Brooke Timo filed against Stacey. He was a plaintiff and she was a defendant. Another lie of hers. Oh, so she's lying about that too. Hey, Darkchild99, thank you for the super chat. Brooke, the same sentiment as to why there's no need for you to make a Patreon move in complete silence, especially from coworkers. Totally agree. Yeah. Oh, yeah, honey. Yeah, honey. Let that dream die of a Patreon, honey. Hey, Cheap 83, thank you for the super chat. Wendy is right. Shio edibles equals happy Eddie. Hey, Monica Denise, thank you for the super chat. Is Jamal coming? Honey, every time when Karen said that in the season 5 reunion, that will go down as one of the most lethal reads. It was, is Jamal coming? Of course not. And I scream every time Alexander Rogers says that. Is Jamal coming? Hey, Dark Child 99, thank you for the super chat. Bobby is hot, but Happy Eddie's a fine piece of chocolate with a nice smile, physique, fashion, and great spirit. Both men are nice eye candy. Hey, P. Fabiola, thank you for the super chat. Great job always, Brooke. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, Ace 5823, thank you for the super chat. I like Wendy, but this is the second time someone from her past comes on. She has a lot of smoke for. Not saying Angel and Neko were right, but there's a pattern. Ooh, child. Hey, Dog Child 99, thank you for the super chat. Brooke, that was Bro-Rilla who emailed you. Duh. Listen, honey, that's what it felt like. She said, I want my 2,500, okay? Hey, Dog Child 99, thank you for the super chat. Kay got lost in the crowd during this entire part of the reunion. Storm cloud raining on top of her head all episode. Yeah, she was a non-factor. I mean, I forgot all about Kiarna in this first part. Hey, Bio Miss Flores, thank you for the super chat. Wendy, I'll blame you if you give Ashley enough reads to come back next season. No, I think that if she comes back, it'll be because the network just wants her back. I don't think that it's one of those things where you can't even blame anybody except for production and the network. So when Andy asked if that was his number, Kiarna who? Child. Kay and Tia can go. Is that his number? Yeah, honey, when Andy asked, no, wait, who is that? No, Monique said, is that his number? That was a mess. That was a mess. The internalized anti-blackness hopped out in that argument between Tia and Stacey. You said, I want to get fired more than Ashley. I prefer Angel than Ashley. Oh, absolutely. I want Angel to come back. I want her to come back. Kiarna and her plated picture frame. Ashley will not be back. Nobody even wants her. That's never stopped the network before. Look at Emily and Gina. Look at Emily and Gina on OC. They're still on the show. They are still on the show. You said Giselle said, yes, that's his number. Sure did. It'll be because Giselle has a clause that she must have at least one sidekick on the show. I want all the ladies back. They made for a hilarious season. I'm blaming Kiarna's flop on Greg. You said that's the one time oh, Lord, y'all are in rare form. Oh, my gosh. Yes, Angel's very likable. I agree. Yes, exactly. Thank you. You get it. If people keep making a case for a newer housewife to leave, that gives production a reason to keep Ashley. Yep. Let's work together, y'all. Exactly. I blame everything on Greg. Thing 1 and 2 are coming back. Help us all. Yes, there's 10 women. Cast is too big. People are getting cut. Yes. I would like to see Giselle on her own with no Muppets. You said Kiarna needs to host an event next season and come up with a messy game that involves picture frames. Kay was nasty for talking over her friend. I don't know why Angel's rolling over for her. Maybe Angel can shine. I think Angel needs. Oh, for sure. I want Angel to come back. I think she does need another season. I think that Angel applied the notes. She looks prepared at this reunion. She was prepared. She owned up to her stuff. She also made sure that she got some reads in as well. She called out Ashley and Giselle for their abhorrent behavior. And I think that she was good. I think that Angel did her big one. She did a great job. I can't wait to see how it plays out, though, with the whole Colorado trip, though. I hope that she really doesn't get rattled and flustered when they talk about what happened in Colorado. I hope that she's still able to maintain her calm and her poise and still, let them know that, hey, it wasn't my fault. I hope that she's able to just maintain a level of her sanity when they get to that Colorado trip. But so far, she's doing a great job. You said, I think Angel's very likable, but I just want her to stay home because she seems like she has a genuinely happy life. I get it. Because listen, this job will suck your peace. It'll suck the life force out of you. And you have so many of these women who are on medication, allegedly. You have so many women where they need this show to feel like somebody. There are certain housewives who need this show to get out of the bed each morning. It's very sad. And I do feel like if you have a great life, this show could end up destroying the happy life. She won't be able to. Her voice will start cracking. You said, I'd rather see Katie's wig with Ashley's flute. Angel needs to come back. She had a good performance. I agree. I do want her to come back. Yeah, season 2 would be better for her. Angel still had it easy compared to Wendy and Candace. I agree. Angel's not the right fit for the show, but open to giving her a second season. I need Kiarna gone so Angel can truly shine on her own, because Kiarna's been a terrible friend all season long. I didn't like Angel when the season started, but she's grown on me. I want her back for season 11. To me, Angel did a better job than, yeah, I agree. I think she did a better job than Kay and Tia. I agree with that. I just don't understand why Kiarna's with Ashley Foot Greg. Oh my gosh. Yes, Dorinda. Oh, she's like top 3 when it comes to she needs this show like she needs air to breathe. Yeah, I agree. Everybody needs a second season. I agree. I agree. I think it should be a 2-season max. The way Angel made me laugh with that steering wheel. Listen, my heart really went out to Angel. I mean, she was stressed. I felt so bad. I mean, Mama was going through it. She was going through it. I felt so bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a 2-season minimum. I agree. You said you like Angel, sad mood, and gloomies. It's funny. Kyle as well. Kathy is a Hilton. Kim was a true actress. The show is the only thing that Kyle has had. Yes, exactly. Kyle's another one. She was gripping for life on that steering wheel. I mean, I felt so bad for her. I mean, there is nothing worse than just having the worst day ever. And it's like things are going from bad to worse. The steering wheel was a friend of the show. I'm screaming. Angel, stop apologizing, cuss them hoes out. I laughed so much in that episode. That was a really fun recap. I mean, we laughed so hard in that recap. You said she probably needed an oil change after all that driving she did. I'm screaming. Dorinda, it's been 84 years and I'm still on pause. Yes, while she's in her rocking chair. No, it's very sad. She can't let it go. I can honestly do without the Monique segment. Same here. Put the steering wheel in the clubhouse. Yeah, no. Certain housewives, Anna Marie, Nneka, and Diana Jenkins, like certain people don't need a second chance. But I feel for the majority of the time, the majority of the 1-season wonders should get a second chance. I don't mind Ashley. I want her back. Oh, I forgot Monique was there. Oh, I forgot Monique was coming. Yes, honey. Angels at the steering wheel. It was giving, I did my best. Yeah, it was giving that. It was giving, you're going to have a good cry when you get home and put your head down on that pillow. You're going to have the biggest cry ever. I mean, everything was going wrong. Everything just went from bad to worse. And they still never got to the excursion, which was the saddest thing of it all. The head turn took me out. It would have been so funny if the reunion set was the gas station from the season finale. Oh, they should have done that. That actually would have been more fun than the Kimosabe set. Yes, folks are being delusional about Nneka. She was boring and lost her spot all on her own. Who said they want Ashley back? Is everything okay at home? Angel and that steering wheel was giving Sheila driving up the mountain. Yes, honey, to go save her marriage. That steering wheel was sweating. Oh no, she was clutching that. She had her hands on 10 and 2. They were more like she had her hands on midnight. She had both hands up on the top of the wheel. I said, my God. I mean, Angel, the feeling that I felt from Angel watching that scene in that finale episode, that was one of those things where I might have gone, we would have gone right into a ditch. I might have just had a nervous breakdown and we'd have gone right off the side, like, stop. That's one of those days where, it's like, you know what? It's been fun. It's been real. I'm going up to see my Lord and Savior. I'm done. That was one of those days where it's like, you know what? I'm over it. I felt so bad. Oh, yeah. Like we would have gone right into a ditch, honey. Oh gosh. Child. Just start swerving, child. Okay, we just gone right like uh oh no, y'all are so I want to tell her I'll cry for you and you hold strong, okay? Oh gosh, child, I would have screamed, bravo, bravo, bravo. That white van in the woods was scary. It was. She was singing, Jesus, take the wheel, honey, and crash the car. I'm coming up on the rough side. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Y'all have me screaming. Oh, goodness. Oh, yo, you're like really early into the live. I see. That car was going to the North Pole, honey. I think Wendy and Jess are just putting on a show. That was a top tier episode. Yeah, stress, anxiety, and laughter. Angel's about to pull a Thelma and Louise. Child. Not the North Pole, honey. Oh my Lord. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But guys, we're going to close out the live. I hope you guys had a really good time. I had a great time. Thank y'all for rocking with me for the full 3 hours because we did our big one, honey. We had a good old time, honey. We laughed, we keyed, we got off topic, we tussled for like a cute 10 minutes. Jameer and Ayana, thank you guys for blocking the trolls. To the subscriber who, I told the story about you demanding a high salary. We had a good old time, honey. Shout out to everybody. But I'm going to close out here. I hope y'all have a great rest of your evening. I will be doing Beverly Hills probably tomorrow. So look out for Beverly Hills live recap and we'll have some fun, Lord willing. But guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will see you all tomorrow, Lord willing. All right. But guys, thank you. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. And I hope I was able to make you laugh, put a smile on your face today, because we need all the laughs we can get with everything going on in this crazy world of ours. But I will see y'all later, and I will see you for Beverly Hills. Okay? Bye, guys.